It is July 25th of 2026, and this is the Court Gallery. Welcome to part one of an intense courtroom miniseries covering a late-night apartment dispute that took a nearly fatal turn. The trial begins with fierce opening statements battling over whether the chaotic confrontation was a malicious assault or a justifiable act of self-defense. Things heat up rapidly when the first responding officer takes the stand and a tense evidentiary hearing ensues over raw body camera footage and complex hearsay rules. Then we dive straight into the brutal forensics with bloody doorstep evidence and responding units uncovering the loaded firearm. The truth unfolds as day one of this jury trial proceeds, and it all starts right now.
All right, the record shall now show that all parties are present and the jury is present. Good morning to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for bearing with this weather. And I hope everybody had a safe trip over. We are about to begin this trial. The first thing I'm going to do is swear all of you in as jurors in this case. Please raise your right hands. Do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm that in the case of the state of Texas versus John W. Dixon, you will a true verdict render according to the law and the evidence, so help you God? Lower your hands. At this time, I'm going to ask the state of Texas to present or read the indictment, and the defendant shall rise.
In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, the grand jurors for the county of Jefferson, state aforesaid, duly organized as such at the July term AD 2024 of the 252nd District Court of Jefferson County in said county and state, upon oath in said court, present that John W. Dixon, hereafter styled the defendant, on or about the second day of November 2024, and anterior to the presentment of this indictment, in the county of Jefferson and state of Texas, did then and there intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly cause bodily injury to Curtis Satterwhite by shooting Curtis Satterwhite with a firearm, and the defendant did then and there use or exhibit a deadly weapon, to wit, a firearm, during the commission of said assault against the peace and dignity of the state, signed by the foreman of the grand jury.
John W. Dixon, as defendant in this case, how do you plead to the indictment as just read by the state of Texas? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Not guilty is entered into the record on your behalf, and you may be seated. You just heard the reading of the indictment, and this is a historical method, the way we do things. We have adopted things from England before we became a country, and it uses certain language that has been used for 250 some odd years in charging instruments, where the prosecution read that on or about a certain date and anterior to the presentment of the indictment. We still use that anterior, opposite of posterior, anterior before, posterior after. So this reads, and this happened prior to the presentment of the indictment. Why we don't use prior? We don't, because we adopted this from 250 years ago. There's formality. And then at the end, it reads, against the peace and dignity of the state. And it used to read, in the old days, against the peace and dignity of the king. Well, we got rid of that when we became independent. And I think we all feel like that was a good thing. And we, the people, are here making these important decisions. All right. The court will allow opening statements at this time, beginning with the state of Texas.
May it please court?
Yes.
Good morning. This is kind of where we get down to business. I'm going to do a little housekeeping before I start my opening statement. I always do, just kind of let you know how things go, because opening statement is basically let you know what the roadmap is for the day. So I like to start off by telling you that in cases like this, we have human beings who have real lives who are testifying, even though they're police officers and lay witnesses. But they all have like doctor's appointments, or they work late, or like I have one officer right now that just got off about an hour ago and is asleep, so he can come testify this afternoon. And I wanted him to be the first officer to testify, but he wouldn't be coherent if he came and did that. So you understand that sometimes we call people out of order, but they're all there. And this is not a difficult case. I think once you get into this, you're going to find this is basically a defense case. And the reason I say that is you're going to find out that the defendant has admitted to shooting Mr. Satterwhite and doing it intentionally, knowingly, but he's claiming self-defense. Okay, so that's going to be probably the roadmap for the day. But here's how this started. I anticipate that you're going to find from the evidence that back on November 2nd, 2024, the defendant, John Dixon, was living at an apartment complex at 1075 Pinchback Road. I think he was in apartment 208. And in apartment 216, there was a birthday party going on for a friend that he knew, that there was a bunch of them that grew up together, that they joined together for a little party out, and they were outside of the apartment and they were drinking. And there was an argument that broke out sometime in the night. But before the argument broke out, you're going to hear that Curtis Satterwhite was staying with a friend of his by the name of Kevin, who lived in apartment 213, which was not too far from 208. I think it's around, you can walk around the back or the front and get to the other side of the unit. So Ella is his wife, and Curtis were out that day. They left and had been out for a few hours and were coming back. And Ella lives in, I believe, Silsby. Curtis Satterwhite is staying with Kevin at apartment 213 there on 1075 Pinchback in Beaumont. And they come walking through, and when they walk through, the party's there. They just walk around, they go get in their apartment, everything's good. It's just some people gathered outside getting a party. At some point during that night, the defendant here gets into argument with somebody. He gets in an argument with a young lady, or a lady that was there, and then her boyfriend steps in, and they get into kind of a heated argument. It's loud enough to where Ella and Curtis inside can hear it, and it's disturbing you. And Ella's going to tell you, and Curtis will tell you, that somebody somewhere in the night rang the doorbell, either accidentally or on purpose, rang the doorbell, which caused Curtis to get up to go outside to ask everybody, "Hey, we're in bed, kind of knock it off," because it's around 10 o'clock at night. It's about quarter till whenever the police get called, so it's around 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and they're getting a little loud. So Curtis comes out to tell them knock it off. You're going to hear two different versions of what happens from this point on. And one is going to be from Curtis and Ella. The other one's going to be from the defendant when he gives a statement to the police a little bit later. So here's what Curtis and Ella will say. Curtis and them are in bed. They hear the noise outside. It's getting loud. They've been arguing for a while. And it was getting very loud. And so when Curtis goes out there to tell them to quiet it down, he said, "Hey, I got my wife here with me, and the defendant is like, this has nothing to do with you. Leave us alone." He goes, "Why are y'all still here?" And of course, the two of them start mouthing back and forth. And Curtis will tell you that he tells him, "What do you want to do?" And the defendant goes, "Whatever." And so, of course, they square off and a fight occurs. And Mr. Satterwhite will tell you that he was getting the better of Mr. Dixon. He stops the fight, kind of had him pinned up against the stairwells, and then he just kind of walks over to his apartment to go back. And then he sees the defendant pulling a gun. He's trying to get into his apartment. He shoves his wife out of the way and is trying to close the door, and he gets shot 2 times. You're going to see the bullet holes in him, right in the midsection, and goes into his apartment. You're going to see the blood all over there. They call the police, the ambulance, the police show up. They're trying to keep him from bleeding out right at the threshold of his doorway there, right outside. You're going to hear Ella say that she got up, she heard the argument, she heard him outside, heard the fist fight start, so she comes around and she sees as her husband's trying to come back in the door he kind of pushes her out of the way because she sees the defendant draw the gun and shoot. Mr. Satterwhite went to the hospital that night. He had 2 gunshot wounds. One exited in his back. 2 of them hit him right close to the diaphragm right here. And one of them went through his finger. Everybody thought maybe there was a 3rd shot, but there were only 2 shell casings that are going to be found outside the apartment, right outside the door. Don't know if there was a 3rd, but people heard 2 gunshots and maybe it was going through the finger and hitting him as he was holding out his hand. So, but the deal is that he got shot. So Ella calls 911. Then we get a 911 call also from the defendant, who goes back to his apartment 208 and calls 911. And he tells them that he was over there, that the argument occurred, that they got into it, that this man just cold cocked him and he grabbed onto him and then he ended up shooting him with a gun. And you're going to hear him tell the detective same thing, that they were arguing, that this guy was cussing him and he was arguing, and he was going to go home, but this guy just hits him out of nowhere. And so he has to grab his arm and then he pulls out his gun to shoot him in self-defense. That's the whole story. Basically, you're going to get a little bit more detail from each one of them, but that's the story. You're going to get to see the pictures of the scene. You're going to get to see, I got the gun that was found in the defendant's apartment. I got police officers coming. So I'm first calling Officer Smith. Officer Smith showed up right after the shooting. You're going to see that there's an Officer Jackson, who I didn't call because Officer Smith went in and helped clear the apartment. So I'm cutting down on the number of police officers we need to be here, because you can see kind of set the scene. You'll see the victim, Curtis Satterwhite, laying on the ground with the officer with a towel on him. Officer Smith and some other officers went in and cleared the apartment to make sure there wasn't anybody else in there. They have to do this. The one thing you need to know about police officers when they get to a scene, the scene is like this. First things first is help this guy not to die. All right. Second thing along with that is make sure that there's no other shooters. The shooter's not around, so it's safe for everybody. Third thing is once it's safe, let's get the ambulance in here, because they can't come in until it's cleared. And then we get him help and get him out of here. And then they start worrying about the crime scene. Y'all see this on TV, it goes the other way. They always go, oh, we got to block off the crime scene and everything's good. But no, it makes sense that they're trying to save the guy first, then they're trying to make sure everybody's safe, and then they take care of the crime scene afterwards, right? So Smith gets there, he's going to clear all this out, and you're gonna get to see his body cam just for a few minutes, because he talks to a few people outside, talks to Ella and some others just briefly. He doesn't get the whole story, but gets enough of their identification and things, just to kind of give you an idea of what happened when the police got there, what it looked like, what the apartment looked like. And I'm gonna call Lindsay Bro. And Lindsay Bro is with the ID techs from Beaumont Police Department. She's one of the ID people that comes in, takes all the pictures, and gathers up what evidence. And so I'm bringing her so you get to look at the photographs of the apartment where the blood was. You'll get to see where the shell casings were found. They were marked. She recovered them. I've got those with me. You're going to get to see that when she got through with that, she was called over to apartment 208. And at 208, that's where the defendant lived. You're going to find there the gun was. There's where it was laying on a table where he told him it was. She's going to recover that. You'll get to see pictures of his apartment. Then Lindsay's going to show you she went to the hospital, took pictures of the wounds to show you the bodily injury that occurred to the victim when he was in the hospital. You'll see the wound on his hand, the wound in his chest, and his abdominal area. And then from that, you'll see that she went to the station and took pictures of the defendant so that you could see what type of injuries he had from this fight that he claims he had to defend himself from. So you'll get to see all that through Lindsay Bro. I'm also going to call Officer Leslie. Officer Leslie's going to come in, and Officer Leslie, when he arrived, they sent him over to apartment 208. So he goes over to apartment 208, and when he arrives, you're going to see there's 2 other officers standing there. They're holding guns on the defendant as he's backing out of his apartment. You'll see him coming down the stairs. He's cooperative. He comes back. They get him and cuff him so that they make sure that nobody gets hurt. He's secure. It goes in. Officer Leslie goes into the apartment. They're asking him they go in and clear it, make sure there's nobody else in there. And they come back out, and Officer Leslie stays there with the gun and the crime scene there. And he also, you'll see him clear the gun. Matter of fact, when he's clearing it, there is a live round in the chamber that's kind of jammed, and he can't get it out. He has to it takes him a little while to get the clip out, get that bullet to kind of go down through the magazine on the gun, so that he's got that clear. So after you see all that, then hopefully this afternoon, first you're going to get to see Curtis Satterwhite. You'll get to hear him testify that he and his wife, what the story I just told you. You'll get to hear from Ella. You're going to hear from an Officer Peeler. Officer Peeler is the one who's asleep right now. He was it was his beat. He's the one that had to write up the report. So he talked to a few people out there, and his report and his is just about basically the same as Officer Smith's, but it's going to be a little different. You'll get to see a little bit more. And last, you get to see Detective Sarant, Saeed Sarant. Detective Sarant is a detective with the Beaumont Police Department. And Detective Sarant's going to come in and tell you that he went out to the scene, that he talked to people, and he brought everybody back and took statements from them. He took statements from Ella. He went 5 days later to the hospital and took a statement from Curtis Satterwhite. You're going to hear that he also called in the defendant. And you're going to get to see them do that like you see in the TV. They're going to read the defendant his Miranda warnings. They're going to warn him about his rights. He's going to agree to talk to them, and then you're going to get to hear his story that he tells about how he was there arguing with somebody, that it did get loud, and that this man came out, and the story I just told you, that he hit him, cold cocked him, and that he grabbed his arm, had to pull out his gun and shoot him. So I think when you look at all this, the first thing you're going to find out is that everything in the indictment is pretty much going to be agreed to. Okay? That on such and such a date, Jefferson County, on November 2nd, 2024, Jefferson County, Texas, that this man over here, John W. Dixon, caused bodily injury to Curtis Satterwhite, the complainant, by shooting him with a firearm, a deadly weapon. The question is whether or not, under the law, he was justified in doing so, in defending his life. And that, you remember that law that you're going to be determining is whether a reasonably ordinary, prudent person would have done the same thing under the same circumstances, and that they immediately needed to use deadly force to prevent unlawful deadly force being used against them. So I think it's going to be a simple case. A question you have, I think, will all be answered whenever you look at all the evidence and see the different injuries, and you'll know what really took place. Thank you.
Ms. Minaldi, do you want to make an opening statement at this time?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may.
Thank you, Judge. May it please support,
Yeah.
counsel. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for braving the weather to be here. I know I got a little rained on my way in, so I appreciate y'all making the effort and being here today. And my client, John Dixon, appreciates you making the effort and being here today. You heard Mr. Laird go through what he expects the evidence to show. I expect the same follow through of evidence in terms of timeline of events and players that are important to this case. But Mr. Laird is correct in saying that once we get those 911 calls that come in about 9:45 p.m. at night, so around 9:45 at night, that's where the different stories start to come into play. And you, as common sense people, as people who are reasonable and prudent, are going to have to assess those different stories. You're going to have one version of events that comes from Curtis and in turn his wife Ella, and then you're going to have another version of events that comes from my client, Mr. John Dixon. And you are going to have to assess the facts. You determine the credibility of witnesses, and you will be the sole decider on what the facts in this case will be. So whenever we get to that 911 call, we will hear that there are several people on scene, but the only renditions of stories that we have are from Curtis and his wife Ella, and then one from my client as well. Whenever Officer Peeler gets on scene, he's the first to respond to Mr. Dixon's apartment, or he's one of the first ones to respond to Mr. Dixon's apartment. Dixon, my client, Mr. Dixon, is helpful in that investigation. He comes out to make sure that there are no threats to the officers. He's cooperating through that investigation. He allows them to clear his apartment. He tells them where the gun is and he's far away from it. He is doing everything that you would expect somebody in this situation to do. He called 911 and he handled his business. In turn, he was brought to the police station because he was arrested on these charges. He was Mirandized, he was read his rights, and he chose to waive his rights in order to tell his story. And he's going to tell his story to you as well. And you're going to be able to hear all of these stories today and figure out what you believe to be true as a reasonably prudent person. And then, as reasonably prudent people, you will be able to put yourselves in the shoes of somebody in the same situation. And once you have all the facts, I am confident that you will see the story for what it is, and I'm confident that you will see that my client had to defend himself because he was in fear for his life. And at the end of this trial, I'm going to ask you to find that my defendant or my client, Mr. Dixon, is not guilty because he was justified in that use of self-defense. I look forward to presenting this case with you. Thank you.
Statement, call your first witness.
Call Officer Kirk Smith.
Is there any motion from either side on exclusion?
Oh, yeah.
purposes?
You know the rule and just confirm.
Yes, Judge, I'd like to go through.
Okay. Right.
I'll make sure all my witnesses are instructed, Judge. I'm pretty much the only one with.
Each party is responsible for making sure that your witnesses understand the rule of sequestration. It's called the rule of sequestration, which means witnesses who plan to testify remain outside until they are called. And you can understand if everybody was listening in, their testimony might change a little bit, and we don't want that to happen inadvertently or advertently. So generally the rule of sequestration is asserted by one or both parties. It only takes one, and the rule is required. So each attorney is responsible to making sure that their witnesses understand the rule of sequestration and that they stay outside. They don't discuss their testimony with any other witnesses, except they may discuss their testimony with the attorneys. And that rule will be required until the end of this trial, or at a point in time when the court excludes one or more witnesses from the rule. Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you very much. Raise your right hand, sir. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony that you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. Lower your hand. Thank you.
Yeah, that's your. It's big enough for your back belt, but it's not big enough. It's kind of big to move around, isn't it? Can you state your name for the jury, please?
My name is Kirk Smith Jr.
And where do you work?
Beaumont Police Department.
How long have you worked for them?
I've been a sworn police officer since January of 2014.
Been there a while.
Yes,
Are you familiar with an area at 1075 Pinchback Road? And what is that 1075 Pinchback Road?
that is an apartment complex off of College Street.
Do y'all get few or many calls out that area?
Many calls.
Officer, would you be so kind? Could you stick closer to the microphone? That microphone doesn't get closer to you the way that it was made.
You
And
scoot chair forward as much you need. There you go.
And it's a direct microphone, which means you have to speak right into it. It doesn't have the abilities around the sound around it to pick up the noise. But thank you for working with us. Go ahead.
So back on November 2nd of 2024, were you a officer with the Beaumont Police Department?
Yes, sir.
And about close to, I guess, 15 minutes or so before 10 o'clock that night, did you get a call to go to 1075 Pinchback?
Yes, sir.
What was the purpose of the call?
May I refer moments?
Sure.
The call was in reference to a victim of a shooting.
Okay, so let's talk about different calls that police officers get. You get some calls that are just disturbances, some calls that are family violence. And when you get a call that says some type of violence, what's the first thing that you worry about?
Generally, the safety of the people that are involved.
So when you get a call about a shooting, do you always wonder, first of all, how many people are shooting, who all shot, or do you get that when you're way there?
Worry about it while I'm on there, but dispatch tries to get as much of that information as possible.
So by the time you get there, you have kind of an idea of what's going on, don't you?
Yes,
Not fully yet. Is that right?
yes.
So you show up at this and when you showed up at 1075 Pinchback, do you remember which apartment you were led to go to first?
I believe it was 213.
And when you arrived, what did you see?
When I first arrived, I saw another officer on scene rendering aid to a person that was suffering from a gunshot wound.
And that was that right in front of one of the apartments?
Yes, sir.
Was that the 213 that you went to?
Yes, sir.
And was he laying out in the grass or was he right there at the threshold of the doorway?
It was right there at the threshold.
Were there other people around?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you this, whenever you get to a scene like this and there were several people around and you know there were during the shooting, how many people do you expect to come forward and tell you what happened?
Generally few.
In this case, was there very few people that stuck around to tell you what happened?
No, sir, there was not very many.
So you get there, officers got him. What is the first concern besides you see somebody's treating him? What's the next concern?
It would be to check the apartment that's involved, make sure that there's no one else that's been shot.
Now, did you just go running into the apartment by yourself?
No, sir.
What do you usually have to do?
Wait for more officers to arrive on scene so we can do it safely.
And did y'all go in and clear apartment 213?
Yes, sir.
Was there anyone else in 213?
No, sir.
Did you see any weapons or anything laying out in 213?
Not that I recall.
So after you cleared 213, what did you do after you got out of the apartment?
I made contact with one of the parties involved.
And would that have been Ella Satterwhite?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and was that the victim's wife?
Yes.
And did you talk to her outside of the apartment? I guess right after you got back outside from clearing the apartment.
Yes, sir. Spoke to her.
Did she seem to be upset?
Yes, sir.
Was she pretty much kind of talking really fast?
Yes.
And was she worried about her husband?
Yes.
And did she try to tell you over and over what happened?
She did.
And what were you trying to do? Very first thing you were trying to do with her?
Just try to get her identified and then the person that was shot identified.
Why is it important to identify everybody that's there?
That way we can assist with the furthering into the investigation.
It's important to know who all was who, isn't it?
Yes.
And then later on, when y'all talk to the detectives, they can determine what everybody did.
Yes.
Now, as an officer, when you're there and you see, does everybody kind of have a role?
Yes.
I mean, not everybody does the same thing at the scene, do they?
No.
So you have one officer that's treating this gentleman down here. Why is it important to clear the area before you get an ambulance in there?
Don't want to affect the scene where there may be potential evidence.
Yeah, but what about if they come in, even if they mess the scene up? Why is it important for you to clear the area out of any other intruders before you bring the ambulance in?
To make it safe for them to move on.
You don't want them getting involved into something, do you?
Right.
So does EMS arrive?
Yes.
And they start working on Mr. Satterwhite. And while they're doing all this, are you out talking to Miss Curtis Satterwhite? Miss Ella Satterwhite?
Yes.
And are you out trying to talk to other people?
Yes.
Did you have what's known as your body cam on while you were doing this?
Yes.
And where do you wear it at on you?
Just right in the center.
Okay. And how does it turn on?
Usually it's a double tap of the large button on the plant.
Is it kind of like a habit and training that you just do that when you get out of your car, or does it come on sometimes other ways?
It can come on by activating your lights, or you can manually turn it on just.
So in this case, were you racing to get there?
Yes.
You think you had your lights on?
Yes.
And when the camera comes on, what does it do as far as the video is concerned? If you tag it and say, this is when I turned it on, what does it do to when you show it? In other words, does it back up?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Matter of fact, does it back up about 30 seconds of video?
Yes.
And that's to make sure it covers everything, is that right?
Yes, sir.
But there's no volume up for that 30 seconds, is there?
No, sir.
And the reason I bring that up is in a minute when we play this, there's 30 seconds of silence, isn't there? And yes,
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, she has to take it down. Is there, so there's, that's the reason there's silence. You didn't mute your microphone.
Yes.
Okay. So let me show you what's marked is State's Exhibit number 1. Did you watch this in my office this morning?
Yes, sir.
And does it fairly and accurately depict what happened that night on November 2nd, 2024, when you responded to 1075 Pittsburgh?
Yes, sir.
Kinder States Warrant?
Judge, the only objections that I have to this are hearsay objections to Ella Satterwhite's statements and Curtis Satterwhite's statements. I also have a Sixth Amendment confrontation objection to those since I can't cross-examine a body cam. But outside of that, that's the only objection that I have.
Well, that's a pretty big part of the objection.
What
do you want to do?
The two objections easy. One is that you heard him testify that she was upset that this was right after, that he had just arrived right after he got the call, that this was within just a few minutes, that she was upset and just relating things and he wasn't asking her. Let me ask you, were you asking her questions or was she just trying to spit out facts?
I believe she was just trying to spit out that.
And she was upset from the moment. Was that right?
Yes.
That you could tell? And did you also, was it right after you got the call that you showed up?
Yes, sir.
And so when you got there, she was just saying things about what happened.
Yes.
Judge, this is an exception to the hearsay rule in the fact that this is an excited utterance, present sense impression, I guess, but excited utterance for sure. And also, as far as the confrontation, we do have Ella coming this afternoon. She will be testifying, will be subject to cross-examination.
Okay, and then the other objection, the other witness?
Well,
Yeah,
Curtis,
there was a second.
he did not talk to Curtis Satterwhite,
Okay, this is only.
only Ella.
What?
Yeah, yeah, I only talked to Ella.
All right, here's what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask the jury to exit for a few minutes. We're gonna conduct a hearing. I'll have to make some legal rulings. And then we'll bring you back and we'll pick up from there. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone else remain seated while the jury exits first. Okay, proper testimony here so the court can understand fully what the circumstances are of the statement that the witness is going to testify to that was made by a third party.
The video is going to show that the officer, after clearing the apartment, walked out to identify
Through his testimony.
through his testimony. He's already testified that he left the apartment, he went out and he made contact with Ella Satterwhite, who is the wife of the defendant. She was upset, is what he's already testified to, that she was he was trying to ask her identifying information, Judge, and she starts spouting out facts that happened, what had happened. And she keeps trying to tell the story over and over while he's trying to get the identification from her. And finally, he walks off in the middle of her story and passes her on to another officer who will be testifying this afternoon that kind of gets the rest of the story. But she's the one who just she's just spouting all facts that happened. And it's right immediately after her husband was shot and he's laying there bleeding right in front of her. If you want to see the statement, I can do it real quick. It's not that long to where it is. So for purposes of this hearing, I'll tender State's one so that I can play it and we can make a ruling on it if she has no objections just for the hearing.
I have no objections to that, Judge.
And as far as the confrontation, that's not what the confrontation issue was set up for in that case. This is something that is an exception to the hearsay rule and has been, and she is going to be subject to cross-examination later on in the trial anyway, as to her statements. So this is where he's walking up to her there. She's just standing back.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Let me get his information, okay? And so I said, we had kids, we went out to my kids, the plan is ready. And the plan, everybody was looking at us, we was a while, but everybody was cheating. I'm not going to, okay, just, it's a blessing. Sarah, she had heard of me. F-A-T-T-E-R, W-H-E-T-E. T. Sarah, A-T-T-E-R. Okay, it's one word. She said, okay, what's your first name? The first name first. What's his name? Okay, that's your husband? Yes. What's his life? What's your life name? Sarah, what as well? We was in the bed. We had been to the kids all day. Yes, so. He just got, he got out eight, okay, yeah. Okay, where do you all? Is Kevin the one over there? Is Kevin the one over there? Say, we was in the video. Okay, I was. Okay. We was in the bed. All of a sudden we heard the doorbell ring. Ding, 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 somebody ring on the doorbell. So I told him, don't answer the door, just keep it alone. You know, just let him do what they do, let him ring the bell. So he told me to go, he said, hey, look, and I'm not there. He said, my wife is here. And then they said, look, yes, that might be named their birthday. They start like that. Where is it? That's what I was starting to say. Exactly. Last name is Satterwhite. Satteor. All together. His first name is
Judge, I just feel like it's an objection that I have to make in terms of hearsay.
Go ahead.
It is an out of court statement being offered for the truth of the matter asserted, and it is also embedded in body cams. She also is making statements that somebody else made in the body cam. So potential of hearsay within hearsay at that point. So I just have to make that objection that it is hearsay, and however the court rules is how the court rules.
Your objection against defense? And any objection? Go ahead.
Is a hearsay objection, Judge. It's an out of court statement offered for the truth of the matter asserted.
All right. Okay, the objection is overruled, and the court is going to allow this under Rule 803, subpart 2 of the rules, Texas Rules of Evidence, excited utterance. A statement is admissible under the excited utterance exception to the rules of what would otherwise be hearsay or otherwise inadmissible evidence. It is an exception, and it has always been recognized as an exception, along with spontaneous declarations. A excited utterance is a statement that relates to a startling event or condition and was made while the declarant was still under the stress of excitement caused by that event or condition. And the reasoning behind its admissibility is that circumstances may produce a condition of excitement which temporarily stills the capacity of reflection and produces utterances that are free of conscious fabrication. That is, the person doesn't have the reflective ability to reflect upon making up a story. They are essentially giving play-by-play of what they have witnesses. And under the rules of evidence for excited utterance, it is an exception. It is admissible. The court has reviewed this testimony, and it is obvious that the witness is under is making a statement that fits the excited utterance ruling. It is relating to a startling event or condition, and she is making the statement while still under the stress of excitement, which was caused by the event or condition. It has probative value. It is therefore admissible. All right, please bring the jury in. Thank you. And record shall show that the jury is seated back in the courtroom. All parties are present. State may proceed.
Again, I tender states exhibit 1, Judge.
The objection is made by the defense for hearsay overruled. It is admitted under law. Go ahead.
Commissioner Public.
That is granted.
So all this chatter we're hearing, is that about this shooting that y'all are going to?
Yes, sir.
Is everybody kind of coordinating with everybody, trying to figure out where you're all going and what's going on?
Yes, sir.
Good morning. Oh, wait,
So were you first sent to another apartment number?
yes, sir.
And did you just get a call to go help clear that apartment at 213?
Yes, sir.
I used to be. Hang on, somebody else, and I'll make sure. It's not okay. No, we gotta make sure, okay? We gotta make sure. Okay. Somebody got to know whatever we. Stay with me, Curtis. Okay. So okay, where'd you get to go to the apartment? Now I have to. Okay. I don't give a fuck about it. I move. Right? Well, what police? Mom gets you to the left. Without left.
Come on, police!
Clear. Clear. First thing, you're right here. Okay, you good. Hey, somebody get out and make sure E-Man knows how we're. Where do you? Two now. Do y'all know him? Okay, hold on. Let me get his information. Okay.
But they would have been showing us that we had kids, we put our porch on his playing in the bed. Got him playing, they got him drinking and stuff. We was at the hospital.
I'm not for you, okay? Just what's his last name?
Sarah.
Sarah?
Yeah.
Satter.
Satter. WHITE.
W-H-I-T.
Sarah H. I mean, SATTER. White.
Okay.
It's one word. She said,
Okay, what's your first name?
first and first.
What's in there?
November 74.
Okay, that's your husband?
Yes.
What's his life? What's your life name is Satterwhite as well?
We was in the bed. We had been with the kids all day. We was in the bed. We was in the bed.
What's your first name?
My name is Ellen.
Ella?
Yes.
So,
ELLA, error. Should that work? Okay, and, y'all live here? Okay, where do y'all live? He's listening to this screen. I'm sitting over here. He's asking you. Okay. Kevin. Is Kevin the one over there? Is Kevin the one over there? No, Kevin. We was in the bed. And I watched TV. Okay. They was out here in the car during whatever they were doing. Okay. We was in the bed. All of a sudden we heard the doorbell ring. Ding, 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 ding. Somebody ringing on the doorbell. So I told him, don't answer the door. Just keep it alone. Just let them do what they do. Let them ring the bell. So he came to the door. He said, man, look, y'all move around with that. Y'all move around with that. He said, my wife is here. And then they'll say, no. Yes, got my name, then burger. Something like they start everything. Where is business mobilized? Starting with a. I got here. Last name is Satterwhite. SATTER and White. All together. His first name is Curtis. First name is Curtis. 11/20/74. She said he lives in Houston, but they're visiting. Who owns this farm? Shut it down. I think that was no, this one's two locations. Okay. So what she shit, you didn't say so no, you're not even tell us what happened. I you can't lie. What? It's all on. There's no one involved. Just like everybody else. You're part of when I have time. We've already queried. No. I got you. I'll be going to check on you see if I got time for you. Thanks, son. Do you have an update? You have an update?
I didn't see it, but
Also, you're asking for crime scene tape. The rest of your video, most of it, are we seeing you putting crime scene tape around and kind of standing around?
Yes.
So at this, you don't interact with anybody else after this, do you?
No.
You can get the last.
Thank you.
Get here, dude. Somebody hit the lights. So you put the crime scene tape around and then are y'all just basically standing around for security and also for scene security? Kind of make sure nobody tampers with it or gets involved in anybody else.
Yes.
Now, there was an argument with a gentleman that was upstairs with one of the officers. What was that about?
I don't recall exactly what.
Did you hear the officer say, if you want to tell us something about what happened, then tell us? And he said, I didn't see nothing.
Yes.
Okay. Was that pretty much, did you have any witnesses? Because there were other people out there from what you hear that were out drinking and partying, right?
Yes.
Did anybody stick around?
No, sir.
I'll pass it. Oh, wait, one thing. Did this event happened in Jefferson County, Texas,
Yes,
in Beaumont, Texas?
yes.
I'll pass witness.
Property.
Good morning, officer. How are you?
Good, for you.
I'm good, thank you. So on that body cam footage, that scene was chaotic, to say the least. You would agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
And that this apartment that Ella and Curtis Satterwhite were at, that is somebody named Kevin's apartment, correct?
Yes,
That's not Curtis's apartment,
to my knowledge, no.
and that's not Ella's apartment.
To my knowledge, no.
Okay. And then at that scene, there's lots of people that were hanging out before the incident happened, before the fight broke out, but you didn't do any investigation in terms of what happened before those events, correct?
Yes,
So you were just there kind of managing the scene, trying to see if there were witnesses and collecting information from people.
yes,
So on your body cam footage, there seems to be somebody that's trying to get somebody named G Baby to calm down. Did you hear that? On your body cam?
don't recall.
Did you come into contact with anybody named G Baby?
Nothing I recall.
Okay. You didn't identify anybody named G Baby.
No, ma'am.
Okay. And then it was learned through the investigation that the reason that Curtis had gone outside was because somebody was ringing the doorbell repeatedly. Is that right?
Yes,
And then there seemed, whenever you arrived on scene, there seemed to be several people on scene that were there and were concerned about the well-being of Curtis. Is that fair to say?
yes,
And the only person that you got a statement from was his wife, Ella.
yes.
Nobody else was willing to cooperate with you,
Not with me, no, no.
or really with anybody else on scene.
No.
And then in terms of your experience as a peace officer and being out in the field, you said that you've been on the force with BBD since January of 2014.
So I've been with Beaumont Police Department a little over 10 years, and I also worked at Mount Bellevue Police Department for 2.
Okay, so you have 12 years of experience. And throughout those 12 years of experience, I'm sure that you've seen a lot.
Yes,
Just doing your job and being exposed to the people of Mont Bellevue and the people of Beaumont.
yes,
And then throughout that, I'm sure that there were instances where you felt as if your safety was at risk. Would that be fair to say?
yes,
And in those situations where you feel your safety is at risk, you have a goal to get home that night, correct?
yes,
And you would do what you needed to do in order to protect yourself.
yes,
And in some situations and in some cases, what you feel like you need to do to protect yourself may involve using your firearm. Is that fair to say?
yes.
Thank you. Pass the witness.
In your training and experience, officer, you ever shot somebody for just hitting you?
No, sir.
Have you ever pulled your gun and shot somebody for wrestling with you?
No, sir.
When you have somebody that's striking you, do you just defend yourself with what you have as far as your hands and fight back?
Yes,
So there's a certain level that you would do to get yourself home. You wouldn't do just anything, would you?
yes, sir.
Yes, or what? You would do anything? Are you, would it be reasonable, whatever you needed to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll pass it.
And if what you needed to do was use your firearm because you felt that was reasonable, that is something that you would do for yourself, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Pass the witness, Judge.
Have nothing further, Judge.
Is this man excused?
Please, Judge.
You're excused, sir. Thank you. Next, please.
Call Lindsey Bro.
Can you state your name for the record, please?
You
And
need to get closer to the microphone.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get the chair moved forward. Harold is afraid to push people. I tried.
Yes, ma'am.
okay, that's better. So state your name for the jury.
Lindsay Bro,
And how are you employed?
with Beaumont PD.
And what do you do for them?
I work in the crime unit,
How long have you done that?
8 years.
So to work in the crime scene unit, let's let the jury know, what kind of training do you get to work in the crime scene unit?
Aside from our own degree that we have outside of work, we go through a 12-week field training with 3 different tech office or senior techs. And then once that is complete, we are released on our own, and then we proceed to do continued education courses after that.
Do you also every now and then have people review your work just to kind of make sure what you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing?
Correct.
Back on November 2nd of 2024, were you employed with the Beaumont Police Department? And did you get sent to a shooting that occurred at 1075 Pinchback Road?
Yes, sir.
Was that here in Beaumont, Jefferson County, Texas?
Yes, sir.
When you get to a scene of a shooting like this, is the scene usually cleared from just about every obstacle or danger?
Yes, sir.
And so how do you decide where to start?
I usually speak with the officers on scene or detectives if they are out there at the time. And I just kind of get a game plan of what have they already located, what is of importance, and then I kind of go from there on if I need to locate any evidence past that.
And sometimes can it be just a few items that you gather?
Okay.
And sometimes can it be like one we tried a couple of months ago where there's a whole bunch of things you can gather? All right. In this case, would you consider this one of those, a whole bunch or a little bit?
Just a little.
This, matter of fact, this, whenever you got there, had you been told that we knew who'd done the shooting? Or did, okay. But when you arrived, when you get there, where did you go first?
To apartment 213.
And is that where the actual shooting occurred? So when you get to apartment 213, had the officers already been looking around and found some items that they had marked with cards and things, or did they start looking while you were there?
They had already had some items marked.
And when you get to a scene and you've had the items marked, what do you use to mark them with?
Numbered cones.
And when we talk about cones, are we talking about just like you'd see out down the road with the orange or whatever color you use?
Yes, sir.
Are some of them yellow?
Yes, sir.
In this case, I believe they were orange, weren't they? So you show up, and when you start marking, when evidence is marked, what is the purpose of putting those markers down where you put them?
It is a reference point. So if you're looking at a picture, sometimes it's hard to see small items of evidence. So the cones are marked. So that way you're able to see it better.
To give the people looking at it an idea of where everything was located, even though they can't see it in the grass or the sidewalk or wherever.
Correct.
So when you went to apartment 213, did you in fact take some photographs? Let me show you what's been marked as State's Exhibits 2 through 22. You recognize these? I believe I showed them to you earlier today.
Yes, sir.
Do those fairly and accurately depict what you saw at 1075 Pinchback in apartment 213 on November 2nd, 2024? Kendra States 2 through 22.
I have no objections to each judge.
22,
2 through 22.
22. States exhibits 2 through 22 are admitted without objection.
Looking at State's Exhibit 2, and back this up. What are we looking at here?
The exterior of apartment 213.
Is this just a kind of a marker to show which apartment you were at?
Sir.
And looking at State's Exhibit 3, what are we looking at here?
This is another exterior photo from the sidewalk looking forward towards the apartment.
And what are these right here that you see in the picture that's orange?
Evidence cones.
Are those the cones we just talked about? Don't do that. So State's Exhibit 4, what are we looking at here?
Just another closer up view of those cones.
So as you do this, you kind of get a wide view and then you start to zone in. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, looking at State's Exhibit 5, what are we looking at here?
This is a closer up view of cone number 2.
All right. So when we talk about, just to kind of get the jury, we're gonna get a little closer in a minute, but they wouldn't be able to see what's in that grass, would they?
Correct.
All right, so you have to mark it to kind of show where it's at, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So here we are, State's Exhibit 6. And what is that?
Just a top down view of that cone.
And State's Exhibit 7.
Is a close up photo of a shell casing.
Now that shell casing is right here, is it not?
Yes, sir.
And you can barely see it underneath the vegetation. Shell casings are funny things, aren't they? Do they kind of bounce around and you don't know where they're going to end up? And sometimes when people are wandering around and running around and do they kick them sometimes? So do they always stay where they're supposed to stay?
No, sir.
Matter of fact, that one we talked about with all that, there was a police officer that ran over one of the little shell casings and took it in the trailer for a tire, didn't they?
Yes, sir.
All right. So sometimes they just kind of go funny ways, don't they?
Yes, sir.
Stacy Exhibit 8, what are we looking at here?
This is another photo of both cones 1 and 2.
Okay. Stacy Exhibit 9.
A photo showing cone 1 and the doorway to apartment 213.
Now over here, we've got, what have we got over here?
An ice chest and a box of beer bottles.
Stacy Exhibit 10, we're getting a little closer.
Correct.
And Stacy Exhibit 11, what is this?
The top-down view of cone number 1.
And what is cone number 1 marking?
A shell casing, I believe was a 380 caliber.
And is that it right here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Stacy Exhibit 12,
Another photo of the entryway.
are we starting to move towards the entryway now?
Yes, sir.
And Stacy Exhibit 13, what are we looking at here?
These were the items outside of the apartment. A ice chest, a box of beer, and a liquor bottle.
Does it look like everybody had a good time?
Yes, sir.
Stacy Exhibit 14,
This
Well-
was the entryway right into the apartment.
were you informed that this towel was used on the complainant as he was laying there?
I believe
Bleeding.
so.
Stacy Exhibit 15.
This was just another top-down photo of that.
Now I know that people can't see it, but is there a little drop of blood that's up in that area at the top by the threshold?
Yes, sir.
And Stacy Exhibit 16, does that kind of reflect that blood? Let me see,
Yes, sir.
right here. And also, you can't tell with the leaves and the color of this, but that's a drop of blood. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So we go to 17. What do we see here?
This is from the front door looking into the apartment.
And as you went in, did you find some things that you needed to photograph inside?
Yes, sir.
What was it that you were trying to photograph inside?
What appeared to be blood on the floor.
So looking at 18, what are we looking at here?
This was blood.
19,
More blood.
20,
More blood.
21, what are we looking at here?
This was just a far out view of the living room showing the blood in the couch.
So there's blood along here, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And blood along here?
Yes, sir.
And then 22, is that just a little closer view of that?
Correct.
So you found shell casings out on the sidewalk and in the yard, is that correct?
Yes.
And you found blood right at the threshold and all the way into the apartment, is that correct?
Yes.
Was there any blood out anywhere around the stairwell or anything that you could find?
Not that we found.
So was there any type of evidence that you had to recover from apartment 213?
No, sir.
So where were you sent next?
To apartment 208.
And were you told why you were going to apartment 208? What was the purpose of going there? Did you go to apartment 208? Okay, let me show you what's been marked as State's Exhibits 23 through 35. See if you recognize those.
Yes, sir.
Those fairly and accurately depict apartment 208 in 75 Pinchback on November 2nd, 2024.
Yes, sir.
Tender states 23 through 35.
We don't have any objections to 23 through 35.
Now let's look at 23. What are we looking at here?
The apartment number. Next to
And 24.
just a further out view of that same thing.
We go to 25. What do we see here?
This is from the exterior of the front door into the living room.
So you're standing outside the door looking in.
Yes, sir.
And back here we have, looks like a square table, dining room table. This is the kitchen area, dining room area, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And here we have a bunch of exercise equipment, don't we?
Yes, sir.
Stage 26. What are we looking at here?
This was a coffee table right to the left of the front door.
So when we look at 25, we see that this goes to the left. Am I right? Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
And that rug there, this is that rug that you see in that corner going to the left.
Yes, sir.
What was the purpose of looking at this coffee table? Do you remember?
Officers had located a live round on the coffee table.
Okay. So 27, what are we looking at here?
This is going towards the direction of the dining room and kitchen.
And 28.
This was a photo of the table showing the gun on top.
So in case the jury can't see, the gun located right here on the table.
Yes, sir.
$29.
Just another photo of the tabletop.
Gun still here.
Yes, sir.
And 30.
And it's a closer up photo of that same gun.
Now 31, what are we looking at here?
This was a live round.
Was that live round in the chamber of the gun?
Yes, sir.
And did the officer have some trouble getting it out of that chamber of the gun?
Yes, sir.
Was it kind of jammed in there?
Yes, sir.
32, what do we got here?
This is the serial number on that gun.
Okay. While we're here, let's go ahead and do this. So let me show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 52. And see if you recognize what's in the contents of State's Exhibit 52. You will take it up. It's already been, I had a Kindle check her. So, is this, looking at this, the same firearm that you were probably with? We look at everyone. It's all that company.
Sir.
And inside of State's Exhibit 52, was there this magazine and the live rounds in this box?
Yes, sir.
Gender State's 52.
We have no objection, Your Honor.
Admitted. Let's go to State's 33. We're back to that coffee table again.
Yes, sir.
And State's 34, what do we see here?
The bullet.
So instead of blowing it up, let's just do State's 35. Is that the live round that was laying on the coffee table in the living room?
Yes, sir.
And that was separate from where the gun was found on the kitchen table, is that right?
Yes.
So what all did you recover from, well, I forgot to do two things, didn't I? Back in room, let's go back to 213 for just one brief second. Did you recover those shell casings?
Yes.
Can you look at State's Exhibits 54 and 55 for me? Make sure I cover those.
Yes, sir.
What are in State's Exhibits 54 and 55?
The two shell casings from the first department and then the lab round.
Okay, so looking at State's Exhibit 55, what's the contained 55?
Two 380 caliber casings.
And how are those the same casings that you recovered from outside of Department 213 on November 2nd, 2024?
Yes, sir.
How do you know?
As my initials painted.
And does it have a unique case number?
Yes, sir.
And so is that your handwriting on it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then State's Exhibit 54, what is it?
The 380 live round from the coffee table.
The one we just saw on State's Exhibit 35.
Yes, sir.
Gender States 54 and 55.
No objections, Judge.
Admitted. So after you got through with Department 208, what else did you recover from Department 208? Anything important?
I believe it was just the gun and the ammo.
And from 213, the only thing you recovered were the shell casings? and took pictures. So where did you go next?
Back to the Vermont Police Department
And what was the purpose of going there?
to photograph the subject.
Okay. Was it to photograph the defendant? And do you see him in the courtroom, the person you photographed? And you point to him, describe something that he's wearing? Record reflect she's identified the defendant.
Yes, it will.
And so let me show you what's marked as state's exhibits 41 through 51. Did you recognize these? These fairly accurately depict the defendant as you saw him on November 2nd, 2024 at the Beaumont Police Department.
Yes, sir.
Tender states 41 through 51.
We have no objections, Judge.
They're admitted. States 41, what do we have here?
Photo of the subject.
So you just get the whole person in the photo.
Yes, sir.
And then you start dividing them up into sections to take photographs of.
Yes.
Okay, let's look at 42.
This is just a photo of his chest and up.
Now, part of the purpose of this is to not identify him, is it?
Not really, just a document.
Just to document any type of injuries on him, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you see any injuries on his face when you were taking these photos or looking at it now?
Nothing visible.
Looking at states 43, what do we have here?
A photo of his torso and arms.
Any cuts? I believe there might be we talked about it earlier, there might be a scratch on his chest somewhere, but did you see any visible injuries?
Nothing obvious, no, sir.
44,
Just the side profile view.
no injuries that you can see on the right side of him, is there?
But that's all.
States 45,
This was a back view of him.
any injury you saw on his back?
No, sir.
46,
The opposite side profile.
so this would be his left side.
Correct.
And did you see any injuries on his left side?
No.
47,
This was a photograph of his clothing.
any bad running blood, any massive piles of blood on his clothing anywhere? Maybe 48, what we got here?
This was just a photo of the bottom of his pants and his shoes.
And did you notice any blood on his shoes or on his clothing?
No, sir.
49,
This was something located on his pants. It appeared to possibly be burn marks, but I was unsure in the moment.
okay, and 50, is that a little bit closer of it?
Yes, sir.
You talking about these little divots here?
Yes, sir.
They appear to be possibly burn marks, but you don't know what from.
No, sir.
And 51, what have we got here?
Additional, what could possibly be burn marks or just holes.
But you didn't note any physical injuries on him.
No, sir.
So while you're at the police station, were you sent somewhere else to take some more photographs of another individual? And where were you sent?
St. Louis.
And what was the purpose of going to St. Elizabeth Hospital? And was that a person by the name of Curtis Satterwhite?
Yes, sir.
And was that still part of November 2nd, 2024?
Yes, sir.
Let me show you what's been marked. The state's exhibits 36 through 40. Recognize those?
Yes, sir.
You fairly and accurately depict Curtis Satterwhite when you took photos of him on November 2nd, 2024 at St. Elizabeth Hospital.
Yes.
Figure 36 through 40.
No objections, Judge.
They are admitted. Sorry, I'll do them back. All right. 36. Is this Mr. Satterwhite?
Yes, sir.
Looking at his face, do you see a little redness under his left eye?
A little bit, yes, sir.
Okay. States 37. What are we looking at here?
2 bullet holes.
And 38, is this a little closer view of those?
Yes, sir.
Now, looking back at 37, where do they appear to be? Are they in the abdominal area
Yes, sir.
and the front of him, correct?
Correct.
Now, there was an exit wound, was there not?
I was advised there was that never physically.
You didn't roll him over to look for an exit wound?
No.
Okay, but there was an exit wound in the back. States 39, what are we looking at here?
Another injury on his left index finger.
And 40, is this a closer view of that?
Yes, sir.
Now, you don't know where that came from, do you?
Yes, sir.
Anybody inform you that he might have been shot in the hand?
There's speculation, but sure.
Now, you didn't gather the extent of his injuries, but you could see that he was injured. Is that correct? So he was mildly injured, right? Do you remember when you took those, they were still treating him, weren't they not?
Yes.
Do you have to do that quite often, go when people are being treated and interrupted to take photographs of them?
Yes.
Did you get sent anywhere else besides these locations? Okay, I'll pass it instead.
Judge, I have no questions for this witness.
Is this lady excused?
Please, Judge.
You are excused, ma'am. Thank you. We're gonna take a short break, ladies and gentlemen, so you can walk out, refresh yourself, 10 minutes, and then report back outside. We'll bring you back in. Everyone else remain seated while the jury exits first. Thank you. The record shall now show that the jury is seated in the courtroom, and the state may call your next witness.
Officer Jacob Leslie.
Can you state your name for the jury, please?
Jacob Leslie,
And how are you employed?
I work for Beaumont Police Department.
What do you do for them?
Currently, I work on the K-9 unit attached to Patrol Division.
How long have you worked for K-9?
Just over 5 years.
So back on November 2nd, 2024, were you a K-9 officer?
I work.
Matter of fact, in one of the part of your video, is there a description about wondering if your dog is eating up your seats in your patrol car while you're here looking at all this? Back on November 2nd, 2024, were you dispatched to 1075 Pinchback Road?
Yes.
And what was the purpose of that dispatch?
I believe it was a victim of a shooting.
So when you arrived, I'm going to skip all the what we do. When you arrived at the apartment, where did you go?
First, I went to apartment 208.
And was there a purpose for you going to 208?
Other officers on scene had advised that the suspect or shooter was in apartment 208.
Okay. So when you get to the apartment, were you the only one there? Were there other officers there?
There were other officers there.
And was there in fact an individual coming out of apartment 208?
There was.
Do you see that person in the courtroom today?
Thank you.
Can you point to him and describe an article of clothing he's wearing?
He's wearing a tan coat, sitting in the middle.
Record reflect, does identify the defendant?
Yes, it will.
So when, just to kind of give them a jury logistical view, how do you like people to come out of something, a car or something, if you think they may be armed?
Hands in view, typically.
Do you usually have them walk straight towards you or do you have them back towards you?
Typically back towards me. I think the issue there would be stairs. You know, we don't want someone falling down the stairs or something like that.
So even though you're looking at your safety, you're also looking at the safety of the person that you're trying to arrest, right?
Correct.
And so when you do this, you have to kind of logistically figure out how we keep everybody safe.
Correct.
Is it usually one-on-one whenever you do something like this, or is there more officers than there are suspects?
Typically, multiple officers. You know.
What is the reason for having more officers than you have suspects?
You have different, if it turns to a use of force, you have different force options. You can hold lethal force, you can have less lethal force, you know, a taser or something like that. A dog, if you need that,
So when you do that in use of force, do you usually start with the lethal force?
it depends.
It depends on whether somebody,
Depends on what the person is doing.
but just in general, what is the progression? How do you usually, how's it supposed to progress? You use non-lethal force first? If it's possible.
That's an option.
Yeah. Okay. But each time do you progress depending on what they're doing?
What the suspect.
Right. Everything depends upon what they do. Are you able to just use any force you want to?
No.
Do you have policies that kind of dictate what your force is? And are those policies set based upon experience of other people that have gone before you?
Yes.
All right. Now that day when you got there, did y'all in fact have the person coming out of the defendant coming out of 208? Did he cooperate with y'all?
He did.
Did he come down the stairs like you asked him to?
I wasn't giving commands, but there were no issues with getting him to come up.
Once he got down and was cuffed, did y'all proceed to 208?
We did.
What was the purpose of going to 208?
To ensure there was nobody else in there.
So we've seen in officers where they clear Department 213. Did y'all do basically the same thing, what y'all call clear an apartment?
Yes.
And were you part of that officers clearing Apartment 208?
I was.
When you went into 208, did you see any weapons inside of 208?
I did.
And where did you see that weapon?
There was a handgun on the dining room table, kitchen table.
Now, when you first run in, did you grab that weapon?
I did not.
Why not?
At that point, we were just trying to ensure that there was nobody else in.
So after you cleared the apartment, what did you do?
I went back to the entry door to the apartment, and I stood there until ID arrived.
Okay. So you were asked to remain as kind of guarding that scene.
Yes, correct.
And did ID finally arrive?
Yes,
And when she did, was it Lindsay Bro?
it was.
And did y'all go in and recover that gun?
We did.
Matter of fact, did she ask you to clear the gun?
She did.
Okay, what's the purpose of clearing the gun?
To make it safe so we don't have an accidental discharge.
And how do you go about clearing it?
It was a semi-automatic handgun, so I locked the slide to the rear, and remove the magazine and any ammunition that's in.
Okay. Was there some live ammo in the chamber? And what did you have to do to that live ammo?
It was stuck chambered. I had to use my finger to pull the live ammunition out of the barrel.
I don't want to clear something up that, oh, Counselor, you got scissors? Now you weren't over at Apartment 213, were you?
I was not.
Okay. State's Exhibit 55. And to show you one here, I'm not going to open the other envelope. What is that?
That's a spent showcase.
And I'm trying to educate people that don't know anything about guns. We do, but what does it mean, a spent shell casing?
It means it's a bullet that's been fired. It's the casing from the bullet that's been fired.
So as it's fired in a semi-automatic like the gun that you recovered, what does it do? Where does the shell casing do?
The shell casing ejects from the side of the firearm, and the actual projectile goes out the barrel.
Okay. So when we're talking about shell casings, that's what we're talking about, right?
Correct.
And And then State's Exhibit 54. We're gonna love me because I'm opening up all the stuff and it's gonna fall out. State's Exhibit 54. What do we call this when we have this?
That's a live round of ammunition.
Okay. Is that the round that's in the firearm before it's fired?
Yes.
And that's what fires out of gun is the projectile on the end of State's Exhibit 54.
Correct.
Okay. So when we're referring to shell casings found at one location, we're talking about something that's already been shot. Is that correct?
Correct.
And then when we're talking about finding the live round in 208, that live round had not been fired yet. Is that correct?
Correct.
And the live rounds inside the gun had not been fired.
Correct.
Okay. While you were there in 208 and clearing the gun and everything, did you have your body cam on?
I did.
And your body cam, just for the jury's edification, how does your body cam, where do you wear it at? Is it where it's located now? And does it come on whenever you turn on your lights in your car, or does it come on when you tap it? How does yours come on?
Multiple different ways. If I turn my lights on, it comes on. There's a button on that I can activate it with, and then I can activate it from a computer screen in my phone.
So when you activate it, in this case, were you driving with your lights on heading towards the scene? Or do you know?
I don't recall.
Okay, it was only 2 years ago. What's wrong? So, but your camera was on.
My camera was on.
And I showed you this in State's Exhibit 55. Did you watch that while with this one?
I did.
And does it fairly and accurately depict what happened that night on November 2nd? We already have 55? One guy. That's a 56 this. I'll do 57. How about 57? State's Exhibit 57. Does that fairly and accurately depict what you saw on November 2nd, 2024?
It does.
Kinder States 57.
You're good, just keep listening to us, bro. You're good, yes, sir, yes, sir. They're gonna put you in handcuffs, okay? You're not talking anymore. No, you're not putting handcuffs. Come on. One more, this way. You're good. You're good. Yes, sir. Well, is everybody else that you talk with? That's good. Okay. Where's the guy at? Oh, it's here. That's good. That's okay. 460. Got everything out. You ready? Yep. We do things all right, okay? All right, Brian. Come off the door. Okay. Now. Get yourself down. It's a leather ring. It splits off the picture of the people. But it's not mine. All the way right. If you got a lock up there, let's all pay attention. That's not to take that. All right, take the guys on. I think I sorry, someone will back too. Well, yeah, you laying here, what we do? I'm gonna get to the front door with.
At this point, do we see you kind of standing around for quite a while before Lindsey Bro shows up?
Yes, I just hold the scene until I do rise.
on loose around here, I don't know, that's, or I'm involved, I just noticed it. And then, that's weird. Where's the leak on that? On that table, yeah. And I hadn't really looked around a whole lot, and just noticed it when I was walking back out. Anyway, beautiful. Hey. Careful.
I see you looking. Are you disturbing anything that can be used in the crime scene?
I wasn't messing with anything, I was just looking.
Oh,
And California.
and I got on the table.
Back
So, do we need his phone or do we just send it with him? Okay. Out here? Yeah. Alright. There was a loose route right there, so right there, I don't know if it's involved at all, but just noticed it. And then they got on the table. What's that?
And California, and all that's over here, so. Other than that one?
No, we haven't not touched it.
Yeah, I'm the other.
You got a pair of gloves on you by chance? The water.
That jam?
Yeah.
I got a picture of that. Or you-
So. Of course not. Okay, that's not okay. But now, Jefferson Hall, no roadway. I'll be a call that I don't need transportation. But,
There. Did those come out? Oh, no, no, the other one. Okay.
That's so bad. I guess it doesn't stay back.
That's all right, I can always keep it tired. It's here, I'm around there.
Yeah, you can't find it now, you know about this.
Yeah, well, I'm not worried about it, it's great. Okay, sorry, she's been with on the point.
Oh, wait, there it is, on the back, yeah.
Can I hold it or?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you want to around 195.
Sorry, yeah, again.
No, yeah. Alright. So. Model CN 380. Cobra.
She could start it from.
Okay.
Alright, are you good with it if I take it?
What is it? Model what?
No, it'll full advance, thank you.
CN 380. Oh,
Alright, I can have it now.
yes. Okay. Is that all you needed in here? Yeah.
After Ms. Bro leaves, go ahead and turn left. After Ms. Bro leaves, was there anything else recovered from the apartment? Or was it you just stand for a little while?
I just stayed until the supervisor said that we didn't need that apartment anymore and we could release it.
So just to make sure, looking at Stacy's exhibit 52, you recognize this?
It looks like the firearm that was.
You have your report, did you write serial number in it?
I did.
Can you look at your report? Did you look and see if it's the same serial number that the gun was recovered that you cleared?
Yes, that is the thing that's here.
After you got through with Lindsay Bro and helping her out and clearing that gun and leaving, did you do anything else in this investigation?
No.
Okay, I'll pass the witness.
Thanks, Judge. I think we're afternoon now. Good afternoon, officer.
Good.
How are you? Whenever we're looking at your body cam footage, as you approach, we see John Dixon at the top of the stairs. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And there's officers on scene with you that are giving him instructions,
Correct.
and he's following those instructions.
Yes.
He's cooperating with them.
He is.
He didn't cause any issues into your investigation or their investigation. And then I noticed on the video, whenever you walked into the apartment, there was the firearm here that you had to clear. Did you notice what direction that firearm was facing? So something that we know about gun safety is that you never want to point a gun in the direction of somebody else. Is that correct? Just with the potential that it may misfire or somebody may get hurt in the process of a misfire.
Right.
So with the gun being face down on the table away from the door, that means it wasn't pointing towards the door, correct?
If that's the way it was faced.
If that's what the video showed, then you have no reason to dispute that it was facing away from the door.
Correct.
And then that would mean that there was not, or that there was a safety precaution used in that manner so that anybody walking around to the room would not be exposed to the front barrel of that gun. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And that's how we safely handle firearms, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And in terms of with Belmont Police Department, I don't know if Mr. Laird asked you, maybe I just missed it, but how long have you been with them?
May was 10 years.
Okay, so a decade. You have a lot of experience with Belmont Police Department.
Correct.
Were you with anybody else before Belmont Police Department?
I was not.
Okay, so you have a decade of experience. I'm sure you've seen a lot out in the field. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
And the main goal on each of your shifts is for you to get home safely. Is that fair?
Yeah.
And then I'm sure there's several instances where you have felt that your safety has been at risk or you've been threatened.
Yeah.
And you and Mr. Laird went through how you have several things to protect yourself or to ensure your safety.
That's correct.
And you had mentioned that what type of safety precautions you use depends wholly on what that attacker is doing or what that threat to you is doing.
That's correct.
So if you felt as if there was a substantial risk to your safety, you would use force in response to that risk, correct?
That's correct.
And if you felt that it was reasonably necessary for you to use your firearm when your safety is threatened, you would use it, correct?
Yeah.
Pass the witness, Judge. Thank you.
No question, Judge.
This man excused?
Please, Judge.
You are excused, sir. Thank you. Let's break for lunch, ladies and gentlemen. The record shall now show all parties are present, the jury is present, and the state of Texas is in its case in chief. You may call your next witness.
Daniel Peeler. Can you state your name for the jury, please?
Daniel Peeler,
And where do you work?
Belmont Police Department,
How long have you worked there?
3 years.
So back on November 2nd, 2024, were you with the Beaumont Police Department?
Yes.
How long had you worked for them back then?
About a year and a half.
Okay. So were you still a young officer?
Yes.
Was that, in fact, that night were you called to a 1075 Pitchback Road? And yes?
Yes.
And what was the purpose of being called there?
I had a victim of a shooting.
Now that beat, that area, was that your area of patrol at that time?
Yes.
What was your usual shift that you worked?
I was on the midnight shift that time, working 9 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Okay. And what shift do you work now?
I'm on fourth watch, evening shift, 4 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Okay. So did you work last night?
Yes, sir.
When you were dispatched, did you go to 1075 Pitchback?
Yes, sir.
And do you remember what apartment number you were directed to go to?
213.
And what was at 213 whenever you arrived there?
When I got there, the victim was laying just outside the doorway on his back, and suffering from, I believe it was 2 gunshot wounds to his abdomen area. EMS was there, and there were some witnesses standing around, so I just started, speaking with them and trying to figure out what was going on.
We just trying to figure out where you needed to go next.
Yes, sir.
And were you identifying people just to see who was around?
Yes, sir.
Who do you remember did you talk to?
Ella Satterworth, sorry, let me make sure I'm saying that correctly. Satterwhite.
Satterwhite?
Yeah, so, which I believe is the victim's, wife.
Okay.
That's who I was speaking to.
Okay. And that was your main person that you spoke to?
Yes.
And when you were speaking to her, was it actually right in the middle while she was talking to Kirk Smith from Beaumont Police Department? We saw in the video where he kind of passed off her to some other officer. Was that you that he passed her off to?
Yes.
And when you were there, were you kind of thrust into the position of writing the main report?
Yes.
It doesn't mean that you did more investigation than anybody else, does it?
Yes.
It just, what is the deal about having the main report? What is that?
It's based off of beats. So in Beaumont, you have certain zones, and within those zones are different beats. And that beat is just a geographic area that's essentially your responsibility. So if a crime occurs in that area, then even if other responding officers are there first, once you show up, they kind of say, okay, that's the beat officer, he's gonna be there.
You get to write the report, huh?
Right.
Yeah, okay. So that got thrust upon you on this case.
Yes.
And while you were there, after you talked to Ella Satterwhite, Ella Satterwhite, we'll talk about her in a minute. Did she appear when you were talking to her, did she appear to still be upset from all this?
Yes.
I mean, she was still talking to the other officer, but was she talking really fast?
She was, and at one point she just needed some time to kind of think about, I think we were hurling so many questions at her that she needed a little bit of time to think about what had just happened. So,
You seemed like she's a little overwhelmed.
yes, sir.
Was her husband being treated and taken off into an ambulance while she's still out there talking?
Yes.
After that, did you do much else as far as investigate around 213?
No, sir. Once I finished up speaking with her, it was pretty quick. They had already detained the suspect, had him. So being as it was, my beat, my call, I went over and got him and took him to the Beaumont Police Department.
Okay. Was he in cuffs?
Yes.
Was he under arrest?
Yes.
And was he sitting in your vehicle?
Yes.
So when you take him, were you asking him any questions or were you just driving him?
No, sir. I was just driving him up to speak with detectives.
Was he talking to you even though you weren't asking him any questions?
He did a little bit, yes.
Okay. Did he ever admit anything as far as the crime's concerned, just out of the blue?
Yes.
What'd he say?
At one point he said I popped his ass.
Okay. Now, did you have on your body cam while you were out there looking at the apartment complex and talking to Miss Satterwhite?
Yes.
And was it functioning? I notice yours is not on right now,
Right.
but is that
at the station?
Is that little square right there in your center of your chest?
Yes, sir. This is the holder for the body.
Is that where you wear it usually?
Yes, sir.
Was it where you wore it back on November 2nd, 2024?
I would think it had to be in that general area.
You remember changing it around any?
I have this thing where I change equipment around often, trying to find the best fit, and I always go back to the same things.
So let me show you what it's marked as. What I've corrected now, State's Exhibit 55. My glasses, I had a 53 that I was telling the jury was 55, but this State's Exhibit 55. Do you remember watching this afternoon in my office?
Yes, sir.
And does it fairly and accurately depict what happened on November 2nd, 2024 at 1075 Pitchback Road?
Yes.
Interstate 55.
I have no objection there.
Admitted. Permission to publish real quick?
Granted.
So there's different ways you can actually activate your body cam, is that correct?
Yes.
And in some of the other videos we see where the officers that were driving their body cams show them driving. What's the difference between seeing yours starting right there and theirs starting driving?
They may have, it's a possibility that they turn their lights on while en route, running emergency traffic for a victim of a shooting, activating the camera. Mine, I didn't activate it till I got on scene, and it shows the prior 30 seconds and, without sound before that.
I ain't kidding. There's more on there. There's more on there. You not kidding. Yeah. Hey, you not big. Hang out. Okay. We were in the bed. We heard the doorbell on. Ding, 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 ding. Somebody reading on the doorbell. So I told him, don't ask me those. Just let them do what they do, let them ring the bell. So we came to that. He said, man, look, y'all move around with that. Y'all move around with that. He said, I want this to. And then they say, you know, they burn it.
So your husband is the one that gets sick? He's not.
And it's not doing it. We have sometimes we have sure.
What's your husband look like that?
That's like the hour. L-A-T-T.
No.
Mine's not that.
Hey, Phil.
I live in city. I might have business. I pay I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know that.
What's your husband's last name? 7-1
I do that in a house where they like curse. Just like I said it too. I'll be there saying, all right.
When is November
November 20th, 1971. Okay, I tell you what, we've been out.
This has been how?
This man see. You know, about to don't man. We just don't know.
He's dating the partner, right?
You think who be good?
Is this two guy phone?
Oh, they were bigger. Yeah, it was. See the man shoot. I don't know. I just heard a man tell him, man, move along, right? I said, and God.
Wanna go try this? You know how many questions? No. Other guy.
He's in the door. My husband's in the door. And then made the rules out. Yeah, he's there. No,
Would you back to
I was carrying out the music thing like that. I told him, I'm in here.
Yes. How many shots was that? That's almost he was here. He said she heard no arguing. But after and they're helping him and he was like watching their completeness. And then she said, so she walked in and that's when she saw him. So I invited her. You saw him. I just said you they got enough they look like yeah, I mean there's one right there around here so creative. As long as the other's on the other side. This is my this is your this they got one shot exit so far. Yeah, so often. We're still looking for the other one. Two shots for sure was. We haven't found the other one. Yeah. Yes, sir. I didn't know went. You said you didn't see him shooting, though, right?
Yeah, I didn't see him shooting.
Because when you heard him finally walk up.
Yeah. Y'all move around with that, move around with that. The next thing I was coming to the door, when I got to the door, and he pushed me back. He pushed me back. Yeah, he pushed me back and was doing it. And he back.
The guy that shot him was standing outside. Your husband was in the threshold. And the guy. Hey, did you see anything or just hear it?
The inside of my house. Like, raise up my house.
What's your birthday?
K-A-R-M-E-R-K-A.
K-A-R-M-E-R.
K-A.
And you're doing right. You think that? Yeah, put your phone on.
Do you want to see it?
Yeah, hey, both of you know, you're not with us right now, okay? So I'm gonna go get that real quick, all right? Adela, I'm just gonna have you basically right now and have on a piece of paper, okay? Just all I'm saying.
So you've already got the story from her. You are looking for shell casings out there. They found 2, is that correct?
Yes.
And then later on, you transported the defendant back to the jail, is that correct?
Yes,
You didn't do much else besides get them to fill out those statements in between that, did you?
that's correct.
I'll pass the witness.
Good afternoon, officer. How are you?
Good.
Good, thank you. Sorry, Kendall. Okay, so in terms of the body cam, there was a lot of commotion happening on that scene. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And then y'all had the added participant of whoever was on the second floor blaring music and causing a bunch of commotion.
Yes.
That's G Baby, right?
I'm honestly not sure.
Okay, so he was never fully identified,
Correct. I don't know who that is.
but he was on the scene the whole time that y'all were there.
Like I said, I don't even know who that is or.
Sure.
What that was.
He was just a disruption for you.
He was somebody that was not happy with us being there.
Okay, that's fair. And in terms of Ellis Satterwhite giving you some kind of rendition, she seems to give you several perspectives into what she says happened. So whenever she starts out, she says that they were laying down in the bed and that she was in the house, correct? And then it gets to the point where she says that she sees this man shoot Curtis. Sorry, I need you to answer yes or no just because she has to take you down on the record. So she says that she sees a man shoot Curtis, but then she also says, but it was dark, so I don't really know.
Yes.
You heard her say that it was dark and try to blame it on it being dark outside.
Yes.
And then she says, but she says that she's certain she says that she is certain she heard 2 shots.
Yes.
Okay. And then further that she was in the house when she heard those 2 shots.
Okay.
And in terms of did you have any interaction with my client John Dixon on the scene? Or you were just down at apartment 213?
Yeah, I didn't have interaction with him until I took him, transported him to the Beaumont Police
Okay. And in terms of your history with Beaumont Police Department, you said that you've been with Beaumont Police Department for 3 years.
Yes.
Did you have any experience prior to that, or was that your first law enforcement experience?
Department.
Okay. And then around the time that this happened in late 2024, you had about 1.5 years of experience.
Yes.
And as opposed to maybe some more seasoned officers, you had only 1.5 years on the force, but even within that 1.5 years, I would assume that you have seen some things while being on patrol. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And one of your main goals is to make sure that you're able to go home after every shift.
Yes.
Your safety and the safety of others is one of your main priorities.
Yes.
And throughout the course of your law enforcement career, I'm sure that there have been moments where you have felt unsafe. Is that fair?
Yes.
And you felt like that safety was at risk or has been threatened.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you feel that way, you have the right to protect yourself. Is that fair?
Yes.
And if you felt that there was a risk to your safety or that you were in an unsafe position, you would do what was reasonably necessary or that you thought was reasonably necessary to protect yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
And sometimes that may include using your firearm if you find that to be reasonable,
Yes, ma'am.
given the situation surrounding you,
Yes.
given the facts and circumstances,
Yes.
given how the attacker or how the threat is approaching you.
Yes.
And all of that would help you establish what you thought to be reasonable in that moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Pass the witness, Judge.
I don't have any questions, Judge.
See excused?
Please, Judge.
You are excused, sir. Thank you. Next, please.
Call Curtis Satterwhite. Can you tell the jury your name, please?
Curtis Satterwhite.
That's better. Curtis, how old are you?
51.
Back in November 2nd, 2024, how old were you?
49.
Let's kind of talk about that day. November 2nd of 2024, day you remember pretty well. Go ahead, who were you with that day? Let's just kind of go that way.
Earlier that day, I was with my wife, my 2 daughters.
Okay, let's kind of get this situation so everybody understands the living arrangements, how this works. Were you living at apartment 213 and 1075 Pinchback in Beaumont? Okay, was that your apartment that you were renting? Who was that? Okay, why were you staying with Kevin?
I just moved back to Beaumont.
From where?
Houston.
Okay, why were you in Houston?
I was with my ex-old lady.
Okay, so you're with your ex-old lady and you come to Beaumont to be with. Okay. That never happened, did it? Yeah, no, okay. Would she say it happened? I'm just teasing you.
Well, she wouldn't say anything. Living together, but back.
Okay, all right. So you were staying with Kevin in apartment 213, okay? And it was just you and was Kevin staying there while you were staying there?
Yes, his wife.
Okay, so his wife, does she also live in that apartment complex? Okay, so while your wife, where did she live at that time?
Son.
Yeah.
With her son.
Okay, so had she come over for the weekend to stay? This was a Friday night and Saturday, wasn't it? Saturday night, okay, so she came over to stay, and was Kevin staying with y'all?
No.
Okay, did Kevin go stay with his wife? All right, so it's you and your wife staying in apartment 213 for Saturday and Saturday night. All right, okay. So during the day on Saturday, did y'all go somewhere? Where did you go?
Who would have spent time with my daughters? Two of my daughters and my grandmother.
Okay. Can y'all hear? Everybody hear? Okay, no, okay. We're gonna get you a little closer to it, because you're gonna feel like you're almost swallowing this microphone. I'm gonna make sure they hear you. Okay. And you might speak up a little bit. So y'all were with who?
My 2 daughters and my grandbaby.
Okay, that's better. How old were your daughters at that time?
Kiara was 15 and Wyatt was 18.
Okay. And did one of them have a child?
That'd be Wyatt.
Okay, and so you had a grandbaby. How old was the grandbaby at that time? Do you remember?
1.
One, okay. So you and your wife were spending the day with them? And about what time in the morning do you remember y'all leaving? Okay, was it afternoon or morning?
It was really mornings. We went in the afternoon. We had them all day, so it was really early.
Okay, so y'all left early in the morning, and then when did you come home?
So we got home about 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Okay. Had you been drinking or doing anything while y'all were out? Okay. Does your wife even drink any?
Not at all.
Is she the kind of person that likes to go party, or is she the kind of person who hates that?
She don't like it. She's just staying in the house, watch TV time.
Okay. Now you have had a different lifestyle, haven't you?
Yeah.
Let's kind of get the jury familiar with that. How many times have you been to prison?
4.
And let's talk about what those were for.
Since 10 years in 1992 on a drug case.
Okay.
Stay in jail. Prison for family violence in 2014.
Okay. And those are the times you went.
There was the times I was on cases.
Okay.
4 times.
The 4th time was a violation of your parole. Okay, so you've been to prison, into prison 4 times. All right. How long had you been out before this all happened?
Yeah, I've been home 7 years.
Okay, so it's been a while since you've been in prison when this happened. All right. So y'all get home about 6:30 or 7, and were there people already outside of the apartment, or was there anybody there when you got home?
There was people already outside. The guy I used to be friends with stay upstairs. It was his birthday.
Okay, what's his name?
They called him G-Baby.
Okay, G-Baby. So G-Baby lives upstairs. The G-Baby bald?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so I may ask you in a minute to look at him on a video and identify if that's G-Baby. So G-Baby lives upstairs, and what was going on that day with G-Baby?
It was his birthday.
All right, so you knew that was a birthday celebration for G-Baby, and he had a bunch of people over. Was there a whole bunch of people? How many people were out there to say?
A whole bunch. About like 7 or 8 people.
Okay, what were they doing out there?
Drinking out of for like this.
Okay,
I wouldn't.
did y'all see alcohol out there, beer and stuff? So y'all go in the house. Was there any trouble when y'all came past them and went in the house? Nothing was said. You even say hi to G-Baby? Okay. So y'all go inside. What do you do inside? All right. Okay, so you're watching, was a TV in there in the bedroom or in the living room? Wow. Okay, so y'all go lay down after you've eaten. And how long were you in bed before you started hearing noise? Okay, what kind of noise were you hearing out there? Speak up just a little bit. Did it sound like it was getting heated up?
Yeah, it was.
Were you just gonna let it slide?
Like I said, I went to the door, just let it told her.
Okay, but before that, when you first hear
I
it,
wasn't gonna say nothing about it. My wife, she ain't used to all that.
did somebody, are you kind of protective of your wife when you get in situations like that?
Very much.
Did somebody start ringing the doorbell?
Somebody rang the doorbell, but I don't know if it was, like I said, I don't know if it was my doorbell or the next door neighbor doorbell. Because with the walls. You know, until who's going to work.
Okay, wall's kind of thin. So you hear the doorbell, you hear all this arguing going on outside. What did you do?
I walked to the door and I was like, Sunday. Y'all go ahead on down and walk with me. My wife in here, she ain't used to all that. So y'all.
Okay. So how many people were out there when you opened that door?
4.
All right, so it kind of thinned out a little bit. So there's 4 people out there. Did you see people arguing? Who'd you see arguing?
Mr. Dixon and somebody had to say about it.
Okay, by Mr. Dixon, who are you talking about? You got.
The guy was shot.
Okay, you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Can you point to him, describe an article of clothing? What color is he wearing?
Yeah, wearing a suit on.
Okay, record reflect he's identified the defendant.
Yes, it will.
So you see him arguing with someone. Who's he arguing with? Okay.
And him and G-Baby had it was all again, so. He was arguing with pretty much everybody out there.
Have you seen him around the apartment complex before? Okay, and when you see him, what's he usually doing?
Most of the time, it's a bunch of SHI2 going.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Arguing.
Arguing with people?
He's a magnet for argument and trouble. But you don't want trouble go come his way, he's out.
Okay. So you come out there and he's arguing and you ask them to move it somewhere else. And why were you asking them to move it somewhere else? Okay, you need to speak up just a little bit. I need to make sure they're having you fading out on us.
Yeah, panic attacks.
Okay.
That's something I wouldn't really.
And Michael, what?
I'm moving
Turn
closer.
the mic right to his voice.
You're not gonna like this. Just give it just an inch. All right, try that now. Okay. All right, so what? She doesn't like what?
She don't condone in all the arguing, fighting the violence and all that. That's just not her. That's not her upbringing.
Okay, you said she has panic attacks.
She gets real hysterical. A lot of panic attacks. And next thing you know, we're sitting in the hospital.
Okay. So did anybody say anything to you when you asked them to move it?
Yes,
Who?
Mr. Victor.
Okay, what did he say to you?
I ain't got to go nowhere. But you, this not justified, or we can do whatever, but then, well, I don't think.
So are you still standing inside or outside your apartment?
Outside the apartment.
Okay, let me get this side. Looking at State's Exhibit 3. This your apartment that you're in, 213?
Yes.
Okay, and the cooler out there, that blue cooler out in front of the door, is that where everybody was kind of hanging out?
Right.
State's Exhibit 10. Were you standing inside or were you out where this blue towel was, or where were you at?
I was standing right next to the cooler.
Right here.
Right next to that cooler right there.
Okay. So you're standing next to the cooler. They're out there in the yard, are they? They're out here?
No, they're like right there.
Right here?
Right there.
Okay. So everybody's right here. You're right here. And so you tell him move it on.
Right.
And then he tells you he can be wherever he wants to be, right? And what did you say?
I just told him, no, you can't be here all alone. I'm asking you nicely to move. I say we can either move it or whatever, we can fight if that's what you want to do.
Okay.
At that time, got into a fight, which is right in front of the cooler in the grass,
Right here?
right up in that area.
Okay, so y'all get into a fight. By a fight, did you just hit him and start fighting, or what did y'all do?
No, we both posted up and swung on each other, so.
Okay, so just because I don't know if these ladies know what posting up means, I know some of them do, some of them don't. What does posting up mean?
When we square up, we get in front of each other.
Okay, so you square off and you get ready to fight. Okay, so you're both agreeing to fight.
We both agree.
Okay, so who throws first punch? Okay, could have been you, could have been him. Yeah, okay, but y'all start fighting. All right, so I know everybody always says fights last 10 or 15 minutes, but they only ask you seconds. But how long do you think this fight lasted?
I ain't gonna even say a minute, I'm gonna say 30 seconds.
Okay, wasn't long. And who was winning? Always asking a man that in a fight, who won the fight is.
Dude didn't really have nothing for me. So I really just stopped fighting.
Okay.
I grabbed it right over on these stairs. That black bean pole, that's why I pinned him up.
This right here?
Right.
Okay, so you got him, you stop fighting, you grab him and pin him up against that pole?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm like, dude, go ahead. You ain't got nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead on.
Now, just so everybody understands what they mean by you ain't got nothing for me. I want to make sure, because some people understand that, some people don't. What does that mean?
Ain't no way in hell we gonna win.
He's not gonna win, it's
No.
it's just not happening.
No.
Okay, alright,
So as I turned him loose, and I walked back
okay, so you turned him loose from this pole,
right there,
and where did you walk back to?
right back to the cooler.
Right here.
And cause G-Baby was sitting by the window.
Was there a chair over here or something?
Black chair there. I
Okay,
don't know where it went. But I was standing there and I was talking with G-Baby and I tell him, I said, man, don't take dude home or whatever. And I was turning to go in the house. That's when the two shots hit. That's when the two shots hit me in my stomach.
okay, you're about to turn to go in the house, or you turning to go in the house?
I was about to turn.
Okay, where was he still out here by this pole? At that time,
Now,
when he shot you?
he had walked kind of in front of me.
Like right in here?
Like he was walking down the sidewalk. It's another sidewalk. Like he's trying to walk down the sidewalk, but he instead of hollering, watch you hit, why you hit, going in his pocket.
Okay, when you say there's another sidewalk, what do you mean?
Like, you see how you come out and you walk down the sidewalk right there?
Why don't you do us a favor? Why don't you stand up and just point toward that screen to help the jury understand what you're talking about. Thank you.
We hear the whole side. This is sidewalk that comes from
Right.
like the park.
Okay,
You hear it's another sidewalk that's right here.
okay,
Comes down this way and then the parking lot. I'm standing here, he walks this way. And that's when I felt the first shot. When he got here, I felt the second shot. That's when I was walking. I turned to walk in the house.
okay, so you're standing by the cooler when you get shot first time?
Right.
Okay, the second one, you're a little closer to the door?
Yes.
Okay. And then, after you get that second shot, where do they hit you at?
Once it's twice in the stomach, it's right on top of each other.
Okay. And what happened after you get shot? What did you do?
I walked to the door and I fell in the door at the same time I'm pushing my wife would come to the door. Out the door while I'm falling into the house.
Okay, not out the door, but to the side?
I'm pushing her back into the house
Okay,
while I'm falling into the house. So it's like she in the door, I'm pushing her and I'm falling in at the same time.
so looking at the door, did you push her right or left?
I pushed her straight.
Straight, okay. So did she go back inside the house and you went in?
I fell in on the floor.
Okay, so you fall down.
And she came back to try to shut the door. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, all right,
She came back in to shut the
all
door.
right.
But as she was shutting the door, he walked up to the door and let off the third shot. Which
Okay.
hit me in my finger.
How did he do that?
He reached over her, but she's now in the door trying to shut the door. So he reached over her to let off the third shot, which hit me in my hand.
Was she saying anything while
He
he's?
started hollering, man, don't do that, because I'm standing right here. I'm standing right here.
Okay,
That's what he took off.
okay. So all this time, you've been shot twice. You backed up into the door. You pushed her aside. Did you fall or did you just stand there?
No, I fell.
Okay. And you fell by, what's to the left of that door in there?
Sectional. Outside, that was it.
Let me show you a state's exhibit 21. Is this the section you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
And is that, as you walk in the door, which way is it?
It'll be to the left.
Okay. So you fell in this area right by this sectional, is that right?
Yes.
All right. And your wife was off to the left of that picture? Towards the wall, trying to shut the door?
Yes.
All right. And that's when he leans in. And you say he fired.
Fired off the third shot, which hit me in my finger.
Okay,
He was hollering, don't do it, because I'm standing right here.
okay.
And I can see kind of look.
Took off. So after she yelled that, he took off.
Yeah.
Huh. So how did you get from there back out to the threshold of the door for the police?
Outside.
Why, do you know where you were going?
Look for help.
Just trying to get some help.
Right.
So they take you to the hospital, right? How long were you in the hospital?
Almost 3 weeks.
Did you have to have surgeries?
Twice.
What'd you have surgery for?
They had to repair everything on my left side.
Okay, what do you mean repair?
They cut out half my intestines, my small intestine.
Okay.
They repair my pancreas, my liver, I think my kidney. I don't know what all. And then the second surgery I had to go in, I don't have no bone in my left hand. My
Okay.
left hand. It was shattered. To the point where it couldn't repair it. So I got a whole streak in both of my hands.
You got screws in your finger? Okay. Did you have, while you were out there, did you have any weapons?
No,
Did you have anything that could kill or hurt somebody really bad other than your fist?
no, sir.
Okay, when you were hitting him, did you hit him hard enough to where you think you're gonna kill him, that you needed to back off?
I don't think I hit him hard enough to where I thought I was gonna kill him. I don't even think I really just hit him hard as I wanted to.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Looking at State's Exhibit 41, is this what he looked like when you were fighting?
Yes.
And State's Exhibit 42, is that what he looked like when y'all finished?
Yes.
It looked like you hit him hard?
No, sir.
And as far as you were concerned, was the fight over? And were you going to go back in your house?
I was over. I was going back in the apartment.
You were done?
It was over.
Okay. That's when you got shot. Wasn't while you were fighting?
No, sir.
Wasn't while you were struggling?
No, sir.
It's just when you're walking away. Okay.
Good afternoon, Mr. Satterwhite. How are you?
Let's.
So in terms of the situation that happened in November of 2024, you and your wife Ella had gotten back that day around 7 p.m. Is that fair to say? 6:30, 7 o'clock, but earlier in the evening. And then some time had passed and then y'all were laying down to go to bed. That's right. And y'all heard some arguing outside. And you had mentioned that someone was ringing the doorbell and Ella told you to leave it alone.
I didn't heard the doorbell, but like I said, it could have been the next door neighbor doorbell or my doorbell. We can't really say because of the wall or 2 feet.
Okay, but there was a doorbell.
Right.
And that's what prompted you to get up and do some investigating as to what was going on outside.
What prompted me to get up and ask him that was the noise of a person in front of the door.
Okay, so something outside caught your attention and got you to go outside to see what was going on. That's fair. And you said whenever you got outside, there were 4 people standing out there, kind of in the patio of the door by where that blue cooler is. And you had come into contact with my client, Mr. Dixon.
Which may come in hospital.
He was outside your apartment.
Right.
Like you saw him outside your apartment.
Yes.
So you came into contact with him out there. And y'all had an exchangement of words. And y'all had agreed to fight. And whenever y'all were fighting, the fight made its way down to the stairs. The staircase.
Never upstairs.
Sure. Judge, may I approach the exhibits? I'm going to show you what is marked as State's Exhibit 3, just to kind of help orient what we're saying. So whenever I say down by the stairs, I don't mean on the first level. I mean here where the stairs are located.
Right.
So the fight was happening in this vicinity.
Fight was right there in grass.
Here.
There.
Okay, and
When I grabbed, after I stopped fighting, I was like, man, you ain't got nothing for me. I grabbed him and I walked him to that pole.
that's where you pinned him up.
Yes, so look, go ahead on, cause you ain't got nothing for me. That's why I let
So you have him pinned up against this
Yes.
black railing.
Right,
And then after that, you say that you had stopped the fight and you just stopped. It just stopped there.
right,
And you walked back to your apartment
to the pool.
and he comes back down this way where this sidewalk
The
is.
first shot was right there, where that cone is. That
Okay,
was the first shot.
that was the first shot.
Yes.
And then he comes walking back down this way.
I'm trying, I guess he's gonna try to shoot and leave.
So he's walking away from the
Right.
door.
Then he shot me again, so that's twice standing right there. And I goes in, I'm going in and pushing my wife out the way and I fell in the floor. Well, we see the blood out in the floor.
And so he is now here and you're saying he then ran up
He ran up to the door and reached over my wife
and fired a third shot.
and fired the third shot.
So it's your testimony today that there were 3 shots that were fired.
3 shots?
In terms of your injuries, Mr. Satterwhite, I'm gonna show you what's been marked and admitted into evidence of State's Exhibit 37. These are the 2 bullet wounds that you suffered to your abdomen, correct?
Right.
You would agree with me that those are very close together to each other, correct?
Right.
In terms of this scene that's going on, you said that you had my client pinned up against that black railing at the staircase, correct?
Told him, look, you don't have nothing for me to, don't watch it.
Sure. Held him pinned, you had told officers that you pinned him up. And whenever y'all were fighting and Mr. Laird had asked you who was winning, you kind of smiled a little bit, but you were winning the fight, correct? And that comes from, you told investigators that you had been to prison 4 times, which we've discussed in court already. And because of that, you know that you can fight. You have experience from knowing how to get the better of someone and knowing how to make sure that they have their ass beat, correct? So you know how to hold your own. And in fact, you told investigator, the detective that you spoke to in the hospital, you told him that you had already been in 4 fights outside of that apartment complex. So prior to this instance, you were already involved in 4 fights at this apartment complex with different people. And you hadn't lost a single one of them. Pass witness.
Nothing further.
And this man, be excused.
Please, Judge.
You are excused, sir. Next, please.
Call Ella Satterwhite. Can you state your name for the jury, please? And Ella, do you know a person by the name of Curtis Satterwhite? How do you know Curtis?
He's my husband.
And how long y'all been married?
Years.
Y'all haven't been living together for 25 years, though, have you? Matter of fact, are y'all living together now?
No, sir.
When was the last time y'all actually lived together? Okay. Y'all have any children together? Does he have children?
Yes, sir.
Do you have children?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Back on November 2nd of 2024, were you with Curtis Satterwhite?
Yeah.
Do you know the name of the person whose apartment Curtis was staying with?
Kevin.
Okay. And Curtis, how long did Curtis stay there? Do you know? Oh. Well, how did you get to come over to see Curtis at Kevin's apartment?
Well, he called me. I'm in visiting, so I will go by there and visit him. And we'll come stay, talk, or whatever.
Okay. I know it sounds funny talking in that microphone, but can you act like you're talking to me over here? So that way we can hear everything you're saying, okay? Pretend the microphone's not there, just talk to me, okay? So that day, were y'all together? That was a Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Were you there Friday night or did you get there Saturday morning?
Friday morning. No, Friday, oh, I'm sorry, I'm so nervous.
That's okay, take your time.
Okay, we was, it was Saturday. Cause we was going to get the children to, bring them out and, bring them out to dinner, have the family gathering.
Okay, so y'all were just gonna kind of hang out with kids?
Yeah.
And those were his children that you're hanging out with?
Yes,
All right. Does he also have grandchildren?
yeah,
And we all hanging out with grandkids?
yeah.
So where all did y'all go that day?
We had went like out to eat, went to the mall. We just took them out for a little outing.
And about what time did that outing end?
But something because we had to bring one of the girls back, had to be back home before 6 o'clock.
Okay. And what time did y'all get back to the apartment?
I say about 7:05.
Okay. And when you got back to the apartment, was there anybody outside the apartment?
Yes, they had a lot of guys out there. Out there in front of the apartment. They was like on the stairways.
Were they bothering anybody at that time?
Well, no, they had their music playing, so,
So music's going, they're drinking, just having a party.
yeah.
When y'all come up there, you and Curtis did, was there anything that happened while y'all were there? At first?
No, at first I didn't know they were just out there drinking and, listening to the music. And when he opened the door and I just walked on in. And we closed the door behind each other.
So when you said they were just out there partying, let me show you State's Exhibit 10. Is this the apartment y'all were in, 213?
Yes,
And were they out in this area or where were they? Were they next door? Where were they at?
they was where the coolers at. They had people sitting there, and then they had chairs against the wall by the windows.
Against these?
Yeah, up there. And then they had people sitting on the stairway.
The party wasn't at Kevin's apartment, was it?
No,
But everybody was there.
everybody, most likely everybody hang out right there in that little area.
Okay. Do you know where apartment 216 was, where the G baby lived?
Upstairs.
Okay. So they weren't upstairs, they were downstairs where there was more room.
They're on the stairways and right up in that right.
Okay. So y'all go in, and what did you do when you got inside the apartment?
We went in and we watched TV, we ate, then after we fell asleep
Okay. At the couch, sofa, or the
in
bed?
the bed. It was,
All right. Is this a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment?
it's one.
Kevin wasn't coming back that night?
But no, he didn't. I mean, what last time once he leaves the apartment, he goes to his wife's house back there.
Okay. That leaves y'all to have the apartment for,
Yeah.
at least for this day. All right. So you're in bed. Did something wake y'all up?
Yeah, they had got loud. It was loud.
Okay, how loud was it? The music? What was it?
No, you can hear them talking loud. When you drink it, whatever, they get loud, and then they have the music. So then the doorbell rung. The doorbell was ringing. So I had told him don't worry about it, but then he said it kept ringing, so he just went to the door.
When you say he, who's he?
Curtis.
Curtis. So you tell Curtis not to worry about that doorbell.
Yeah.
But were they also being loud
Yeah,
outside?
it was,
Okay.
and so he just went out there.
Okay. So you hear Curtis walk towards the door,
Mhm.
and where were you while he was walking to the
I
door?
was-
My. So how long was Curtis gone before you decided you needed to get up and go see what's going on?
Because all I heard, they was, he was telling them that, my wife's here, can y'all please take that somewhere else or, whatever. Then I heard that, then I was like easing up to the front door.
Okay, you're trying to see what's going on?
Yeah, I was trying to see what's,
Okay. You said Mop was being a little nosy?
yeah, I was being a little nosy.
Okay, so you're trying to sneak up, see what he's up to, okay. So when you started sneaking up, what did you hear or see?
When okay. Right.
Sound like fight was going on? Okay,
I guess they got through trying whatever, so we came to the door, so he pushed me out the way.
okay, wait, we're talking about he, who's he? It's okay, no, okay, who's he?
Curtis.
Okay, so they get through fighting, Curtis is coming to the door. All right, and by the door, you're talking about this door back behind this blue cooler right here.
Yes,
All right, and he's coming from which direction?
he's at the door, so he's backing.
Okay, so
up.
he's backing you up. You just got to the door when he's coming
Yeah,
in.
when I'm backing, yeah.
Okay, take your time, deep breath.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's backing up to the door, and what happened when he got to the door?
It was like pow pow, and then he fell back, and then I'm telling you, the guy was
Okay.
so.
Okay, well, first let's talk about pow pow. Did you see who was doing the pow pow?
I seen him. He was dark. I remember like someone walked up. I remember what he had on.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
okay. Looking at State's Exhibit 41. Does that look like him, what he's wearing? Or could you tell?
no, that wasn't what he had on.
That wasn't what he had on there? Okay,
Because he had on shorts.
okay. Do you see some shorts underneath these? Underneath the blue pants?
Yes,
Okay. But you're not sure that, you don't think that's what he had on?
he didn't have it on.
Okay. So you see the shots.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see them coming from the gun, the flash? Was that what you're talking about?
I see flash from him.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And what was Curtis doing when the flashing was going on?
He was backing, like I said, he was backing up into the door. When he was backing up to the door, he was shot.
Okay.
Pop, pop. And then when he went back, and I'm screaming, telling the guy, because he reached over me, talking about,
Okay, hold on. So Curtis comes in the apartment. What does he do when he gets in the apartment?
he fell back.
He fell back. Okay, where did he fall back by?
I think it's the couch, the floor.
Okay. Look at State's Exhibit 21. It's 21, yes, 21. Is that the section on the side of that place?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And where did he fall at?
Right up in there.
Right in here?
Mhm.
Okay. So he falls back. He's pushed you where? Back or to the side where?
To the side, I'm against the wall. Because see, when he opened the door and pushed me, so that made me swing to the,
So
see right there, that green dude, right there by that little green part where the door.
right here?
Yeah, go up.
Go
Yeah,
up?
right there, that side, on the side.
He pushed you right over here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, on the inside or
On the
outside?
inside.
All right, so you're inside the apartment on that side of the door.
Yeah, and then the guy reached over, and and I'm screaming. I'm saying, no, I'm standing right here. I'm here. And then he took off.
Okay. Do you remember whether he shot when he was leaning over you?
When he shot another shot, and I don't know if
Okay. Well, you you heard the two shots outside, but when he was leaning over, do you remember or do you just not remember him really leaning over?
Yeah, when he leaned over, that's what I'm saying. When this is that's the door. Can I stand up and?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is.
Hang on, let me get this chair anyway.
Okay. This is the door.
Okay.
And I'm standing, when he came in, he pushed me. When he pushed me, I came on the side of that wall, on the
All right.
side of that wall.
Where that green part was, we
Yeah.
just pointed out.
Then he reached me when I said, no, I'm not standing right here, I'm standing right here. And he left.
Okay.
And like I said, it scared me so much, like I said.
Okay. But you don't remember a shot right there.
Yeah, I remember the shot right there.
Okay. Scoot forward a little bit. There you go. All right, sit down. All right. So he leaned over, you yelled, I'm here, and then he takes off.
Yeah.
All right. You never saw him again that night?
No, I haven't never seen him.
Okay. Do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes,
Okay, where's he at? What's he wearing?
he wearing a beige jacket with the
Record reflect, she's identified the defendant.
Is it with?
So your husband has just been shot. The guy just ran off, and what do you do?
I got nervous, then they said call 911, so I tried to find my phone. I couldn't find my phone, so when I did get it, I called 911 and I told them my husband had just got shot.
Okay. I played, looking at State's Exhibit 56, I played your 911 call for you, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
And was that an accurate call that was the recording of that call?
Yes, sir.
Now, there's also something else on here, isn't there? Where there's somebody that admits shooting your husband on
Yes.
here.
Yeah.
But your part on here is an accurate.
Yes.
Judge, I've already convinced the defense counsel all tender for evidence, State's 56.
No objection, Judge.
Fine, without objection, it is admitted.
Shit. We don't need this to call. Now, at the very first of this call, there's somebody else on there. We don't know where that came from, do we? They're just talking about somebody, an old person that's in trouble or something, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
November 2024, 21, 41, 23. 911, here's your emergency.
We got a man here who, Wow, Diana, that's the emergency.
I can help you fix that.
We got a, you know.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying here now?
He's wearing a blue hat, no shirt, and black shorts. Black shorts. Get back now. Stay on the phone with me, okay? I understand that we're getting ambulances on the way too. Well, did I kick off on it? Did he get in a car or did he leave on foot? To tell you which way that he went. Rifle, a long gun. You have a solid guy, or you didn't see that. Stella?
Are you at your emergency?
Speak to the ambulance dispatcher.
Where they get there. They promise out, we don't, we.
Wait, you said you saw someone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what did you shoot them?
He started off on me for no reason at all. I was just trying to get to my house, and I ain't no problem, I just tackled him, man. I don't want to fight on him, nothing. He started off on me for no reason, I was trying to, yeah.
Okay, I understand. What is your name, okay?
John Wayne Dixon Jr., my social security number is 628-5836-33. And now, look, with this that I had, with that I reported it for me, and I reported it when I was moving, I found the candidate. Okay, look now.
Two oh eight?
I'm doing the right thing now. That's how I'm doing to the job. I didn't want to fire him. He started off on me. It's enough of it, though.
Okay, and you,
I'm not lying. Everything right here, man. I don't have nothing. You know?
I just, you didn't know that one, okay? Okay, and you also, now, should I, you speak with them?
I'm not in. I don't know.
I have a question for you. Are you black, white, or Hispanic?
I'm black.
Okay, what are you wearing? What color are you wearing? Officer, okay?
I'm talking about the other thing.
Okay, then he put up. Was he trying to fight you? Okay.
They want to do it, so I need to, right?
Thousand, 24, 21, 49, 11.
The miss. Satellite. When you saw what was going on outside, were they still fighting when you saw the gunshots?
No,
Was the fight over?
yes.
And your husband was walking back, trying to get back into the apartment? I'll pass with you.
Good afternoon, Miss Ella. How are you? So in terms of this scene that we're talking about, at the Timbers Apartments from November of 2024, you were spending the weekend there with your husband Curtis, is that right?
Yes.
It's okay. If you're nervous, you need to take a breath or you need me to repeat something, just tell me. I don't want to make you nervous or anything like that. Okay? In terms of the rendition that you've provided for the jury today, while you're on stand, you said that Curtis was coming back to the door. Whenever all this is happening outside, you said that Curtis was coming back to the door, correct? And he was going to push you out of the way while he was backing up to the door.
Yeah.
And your story is that he got shot when he was in the door, correct?
He got shot. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you said pow pow. That means he got shot twice. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So you remember 2 shots of him standing in the doorway?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you also mentioned that as he was falling back, he kind of pushed you to the side towards where that sectional is in the living room area. Is that right? I need you to answer out loud. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
yes, ma'am.
She has to take down everything that we say just so that her record's clear.
Yes,
So I'm
ma'am.
not trying to bother you with it at all. I just want to make sure that she can get everything down.
Yes, ma'am.
So whenever he's falling back, he's pushing you to the right towards the living room area.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you said then the guy who shot him ran up into the apartment.
It was like right there at the door, like when they look. You know how you got them that step up?
Sure, and he ran into that area.
Yeah.
And then
he reached over me like he was going to shoot him again. And I hollered and I told him, I'm here, I'm standing right here, I'm here.
And there was no third shot.
And he took off.
And he did not shoot a third time.
That I can't remember, but like I said, that he did reach over me. I remember that.
Okay,
And,
well, you just told Mr. Laird that he didn't shoot a third time.
It was because he got shot in the finger, because the bullet hit in his finger.
Okay, so your testimony with Mr. Laird was that he did not shoot a third time, correct?
You reached over me.
I'm sorry, I need you to just answer the question that I'm asking you. I'm not trying to be difficult.
Yes.
Whenever Mr. Laird was questioning you and he asked you if there was a third shot, you said that there was not a third
No,
shot.
it wasn't. Like I said, it wasn't the third shot. He just reached over me like he's gonna shoot him again.
But he did not fire the
He
gun a
didn't fire.
third time.
Yeah, he didn't fire.
Okay.
No.
And you said that he was trying to reach through the door and over you to get to Curtis?
Yeah, because see, like I said, that when Curtis fell back.
And he fell back into the apartment?
Yeah, and because it was like he was telling me to move, get out.
Right.
And then he fell back when the door, just.
And you're over here to his right?
Yeah, it'd be to my right if I'm in.
So imagine.
Like I said, the door.
Hang on, let's do it this way.
Hold on.
Imagine.
Hold on. She has a fair opportunity to answer your question and then you can ask. Let her complete her answer, please. Go ahead.
Sure, Judge. Just trying to make
Go
the
ahead.
questions
You may
easier.
complete your answer. That's what's appropriate under the rules. Did you need to add anything more to it?
No, I was just wanting to, it's like the door is this way and it's, to me, it'll be my right. If he backing up, well, it still be his right, because if he's backing up to the door.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so he's in the door frame, he's backing into the door.
Yeah.
You're to his right. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
and then that would mean he is to your left. Correct? If you're here and he's here, he is to your left.
Hold up, you confusing me. Okay, this is the door. The door is gonna close this way.
Here, let's do this. Can I grab an exhibit, Judge?
Yes.
I'm gonna show you what's marked and admitted as State's Exhibit 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Just give
you.
us a
Somehow I'm not the technologically savvy one in this courtroom.
Just give it a second to come. There you go.
Okay, so this is the door.
Yes,
And your testimony is that Curtis was standing in this doorway
yes,
and you were back behind this little green slit
Yes.
towards the window.
yes.
Okay. And the 911 call was admitted. You remember just listening to that in the courtroom?
Yes, ma'am.
And you remember the 911 operator talking with you as you were dealing with the environment around you, correct?
Yes,
And you remember telling her that your husband got shot twice and ran away, correct?
mhm,
And you
Yeah.
remember telling her that you were laying down in your bed,
yes,
and the next thing that you heard, there was arguing, and then you heard 2 shots.
yeah, I heard it.
You remember telling her that on the 911 call?
Yeah.
And then she asks you, so you never saw the guy? And your response was, no, ma'am. You remember hearing that
Yes, I remember hearing that.
on the 911
Yes.
call? Okay. You say that you and Curtis Satterwhite have been married for 25 years.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have a lot of experience with him, correct?
Yes,
You're aware of him getting in fights and him fighting people?
yes, ma'am.
So with your knowledge of him for 25 years, you think he's capable of causing bodily injury with his hands? Really hurting somebody by punching them?
No,
You don't think he's capable of doing that?
I don't think he's capable enough to, ask for, ask for fighting. I know he's a person that's, being fight, but I don't know him with actually.
So you don't think that he could cause somebody real pain by just using his fists?
I don't think so.
Okay, pass the witness.
I have nothing further to this witness, Judge.
All right, is this lady excused?
Please, Judge.
You're excused, ma'am. Thank you. We're gonna take a little break, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. 10, 15 minutes, relax, stretch your legs and report back outside. Thank you. Everyone remain seated while the jury and the witness. Okay, and the record shall show that the jury is also seated in the courtroom and the state will call the next witness.
Call Detective Saeed Sarant.
Say that again?
What? Say, do you know how to spell it?
No, I do, but I was curious of you.
Can you state your name for the record, please?
Saeed Saran,
And how are you employed?
I'm a detective with the Beaumont Police Department.
How long have you worked for them? And how long have you been a detective?
4 years.
Back on November 2nd of 2024, were you a detective with the Beaumont Police Department?
Yes,
What division were you working in back then?
crimes against persons.
You still work in that same division?
Yes.
So tell the jury what's crimes against persons.
We crime from something as simple as harassment to assault, robbery, aggravated robbery, all the way up to homicide.
You got a lot of work these days, don't you?
Yes.
Back on November 2nd, 2024, were you dispatched or sent to go to 1075 Pitchback Road in Beaumont, Texas?
Yes.
What's at 1075 Pitchback Road?
Apartment complex, I think it's Timbers Edge now.
You been there before all this?
Yes.
Been there since?
Yes.
And do you remember the apartment number you were supposed to go to?
Right off.
Was it 213?
That might be right.
Okay. So when you were there, what was the reason you were sent there?
I was sent there, because, it was an aggravated assault that occurred, subject was shot midsection.
Now, as a detective, are you in charge of all the officers that are there at the scene, or are you just there to try to figure out what's going on and see who needs to come talk to you and what you need to do next?
Yeah, I'm just involved, I'm just in charge of trying to get statements, talk to witnesses, gather evidence.
So patrol officers have their own little sergeants and lieutenants and things that they answer to, is that correct?
Yes.
And whenever you get there, what is your purpose as far as when you first get to a scene? What do you do?
Basically, I get with the first responding officers, they kind of give me a rundown on what happened, kind of help me develop a story, and then I start locating witnesses and things like that.
Now, was this a difficult investigation about who did it?
No.
Okay. Did you have somebody who actually called in and said they did it?
Yes.
And did you take that person down and talk to them and have them again give a statement about what happened?
Yes.
And that person, what was his name?
John is.
Do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Can you point to him and describe something he's wearing?
He's the gentleman here to my left and the tan jacket.
Record reflect he's identified the defendant.
It will.
So at the time that you brought or had Mr. Dixon brought to you to give a statement, was he under arrest?
Yes.
And was he under arrest for aggravated assault?
Yes.
So when you have somebody that you're bringing into custody and you are going to question them, do you have to do something special besides just ask them questions?
Yes, sir.
And what is that?
Reading his Miranda.
And the Miranda warnings that you read, are they required by law before you can actually take a statement from them?
Yes.
And did you read those rights to Mr. Dixon?
Yes, sir.
Did you tell Mr. Dixon on the video that he had the right to remain silent, not make any statement at all, and that any statement he made may be used against him at his trial?
Yes, sir.
Did you tell him that any statement he makes may be used as evidence against him in court?
Yes, sir.
Did you tell him that he has the right to have a lawyer present to advise him prior to and during any questioning?
Yes, sir.
And did you tell him that if he was unable to employ a lawyer, he had the right to have a lawyer appointed to advise him prior to and during any questioning?
Yes, sir.
And did you tell him that he had the right to terminate the interview at any time?
Yes, sir.
Did he acknowledge that he understood those rights?
Yes.
And did he waive those rights and agree to talk to you?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you did this, where did this occur at?
At the Beaumont Police Station in our interview room.
And who all was present in that room?
Myself and Detective Hank.
Okay, so it's just the three of you, Hancock, and Mr. Dixon.
Yes.
And did Mr. Dixon appear to be intoxicated in any way, to your opinion?
I really couldn't tell. He was kind of animated in his comments. That might have just been,
Who he was?
Yeah.
But was he intoxicated to the part to where you probably thought we shouldn't be taking the statement, or did he appear to understand everything's going on?
No, he appeared to understand.
Or was he able to talk to you coherently and describe everything that happened?
Yes.
Did it appear that he understood what he was saying?
Yes.
Now, I had you look at that statement a little earlier, didn't I?
Yes.
Let me show you State's Exhibit 58. Did you watch this in my office again this afternoon?
Yes.
And is this a complete statement and fairly and accurately depict the statement that you took from Mr. Dixon on January 2nd, 2024.
Yes.
Kinder States 58.
We have no objection, Judge.
It's the wrong day. Whenever. On the biggest one, it's to take a thing up. Okay. Alright, so today is Saturday, November 2nd. The time is 23:34 hours. You get you to state your full name for me. John A. Dixon Jr. Jr. Dixon. John Wayne Dixon Jr. Jefferson. Gary William. I wish paper. 06248 So good at this way. 1075 Penn Bay Road, 208. I'm gonna do phone number. 209-273-4582. 152. Yes, sir. Work anywhere? Or at McDonald's? Which one? Wow, feeling. Down the street from London. What you do there? I don't cook. I don't just those food specialist, everything around me. So fast. Oh, you right there. 77, 25 now and 2030. That's to come out 1 year. Yes, sir. No rifle. So I believe the balance 16 on those. The sports. No, no sports. So you live with anybody? No, this is my apartment. It's your apartment, son? Yes, sir. So you already know why we're yeah, I understand everything. Okay, you understand it all. Okay. All right, so right now you are in our custody. You're arrest. We would like to talk to you about what happened. But prior to doing that, we do have to read you your rights. Yes, sir. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna read them to you line by line. Yes, sir. After each one, just acknowledge me verbally, yes or no, if you understand what we're saying. Yes, sir. Okay. All right, you have the right to remain silent and not make any statement at all. Any statement you make may be used against you at your trial. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anything you may be used as evidence against you in court. You understand? Yes, sir. You have the right to have a lawyer present to advise you prior to and during any question. Yes, sir. If you are unable to employ a lawyer, you have the right to have a lawyer appointed to advise you prior to and during any question. Yes, sir. You have the right to terminate the interview at any time. Yes, sir. Understand each of those rights. I understand. Yeah. All right. Have those rights in mind. Do you wish to waive those rights and talk to us at this time? You want to talk to us? Yeah. Okay. All right. So, man, take us back to earlier in the day. Look, man. It's the time, girl. I got a big file. Okay, you don't know. Everything going good. Everything is shit, I ain't gonna lie. Me, everybody around that know each other. We all cool and we kicking it. We all this, you know what I'm saying? This is what we do, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. We all know each other. We all want with each other. It's crazy. We all come around each other when we get older. But you know, so boom. We put G-Baby out. That's when this all happened. G-Baby, he got this little freak over here, man. It started with a chick. It started with this chick, bro. Okay. She changed on to me, and we get the going back and forth. Okay. So, this guy, she lit. G-Baby. This way, yeah. Oh, damn. G-Baby. Okay. Doing this. I get this shit little freak for the night. He don't know. Oh,
Like, how, he's running I'm running like shit type yeah. So he don't know that's not how the baby mama. He don't know what's going on. He's related to the situation. He just being kept the same whole type of stuff. Gotcha. Okay, so we get to order and she said something to me. She like, she say, she said something to me. That's how I was over. She spoke to me. She said, "Don't call me a hoe or something." I got mad, and we get the talk. So when he jumped in, being catch, and I'm talking to her like the blind class, so we get to arguing. And I'm like, man, fuck all that. Don't worry about it. We get look at this, that kind of, you know what I'm saying? Just brother, like, bro, you don't even know what you doing when you being catching that type of shit. Just all the bro shit, like, bro, you saying this free that don't know. Anyway. So we get to arguing. Cause like you better go outside. This man, I ain't gonna lie, this man I shot. You better hope this nigga don't come outside. They gonna shoot you. He already the shot. Man, there's a lot of shit be going on out there, but we don't say them for another time, but he don't get on the door. Get the fuck. Hey, it's not even. I'm talking about it's not even yours. And so you don't got nothing. He's so good. He said, "Oh, when they with the school or what? You just live out here, as a living room. I don't even think I know it. Okay. Type of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not even your home. I didn't say it. You like fuck. I don't give a fuck. Like I said, you ain't telling me nothing. I'm trying to really go home. Type shit. I already know what's gonna happen. Cause he like, yo, well, he ain't right now. They told me, oh yeah, you didn't tell me now. You get this thing right now. I said, man, don't do that. Well, you talk right here under my eye and shit. So he still alone. I read along like you. I said, oh, why did you get that? I'm back here on my hell. I'll make my shit. And I'm trying. Cause I'm telling you not to hit me, y'all. Don't church me, don't know. No way, this ain't got nothing to do with you, bro. I don't know, man. We ain't even around fuck shit. And I'm just letting you know. Every time it be some crazy shit, bro. So when he came out of the apartment, did he have a weapon on him? No, he just big. Yo, bitch ass right now. I had to look at myself, see, yeah, fuck that. So he and you was so basically great. Yeah, he's still on it. I read stop him from stealing all on it. We was just taking on. So I already did it. And I put him away. I not put on this on. I shot him right. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, you better put you right back. Yeah, because I'm right-handed. And that's not, What pants did you have on? I had on these. Which ones? You was dressed. It's the same you was dressed. Every day, this is the ground scene like this. This is the danger how you look. Yes, hey. So, girl, you put pants or right there? Yeah, it got right here. It was in the bottom. Okay, it was in there. All right. So after you ended up shooting, what did you do after that? I went home and called out. I called the police. Okay. So the punch to the face was completely unprovoked. I'm going to hate. You know. He's the weekend guy. He's telling everybody to go home and you may like, oh, yeah, you go home. I'm going home and shit. And he just figured out. He feels the chair right now. It was a man like, everybody go home. Like, go home. She's like, you know what I'm saying, man? Today is just very today. You ain't getting on the birthday, you know what I'm saying? Like, so they, you not getting on, bro. You like that guy. Yeah, we so. We kind of time, and he just came out. Before this started spreading like that's his house. That's not your house, sir. You don't even live there. That's a one bedroom. All these in the front is one bedroom. That's one person, you know? But so that's how and he paid for me. You know, I'm be saying right now, y'all talking. I say, we don't do this. Y'all pay. Oh, it's a camera, bro. Y'all not gonna see everything you see here, bro. Yeah.
I don't see that whole situation. I ain't even fucking nothing on that. I don't even know, really. Like, bro, I just
So speaking of that, because of the fact you have no record at all whatsoever. I do have a question for you. So he punched you in the face. Why not punch him back?
started hanging around and shit out because he throwing some of these guys now. And we get him and shit up. Look, so I had to figure out just I'm not talking about I don't want to fight. I'm not fighting no more. So I didn't really do too much shit. That's why I didn't want to fight you. I just follow. I ain't you know. I'm wrong. You're a motherfucker. I'm wrong. But then I was getting my telephone shit. So hey. I'm really had to say I'm 27 information. Because I'm good as a motherfucker, man. Appreciate you being on. Let me get it, Burns. When I got hold out, I had like 2 shots, and then I had 2 beers, 2 Modelo's. And I was just like, this. 12, okay. Okay. We had 2 of them. And that's all I was drinking. Till that shit happened.
Okay. So prior to today, have you ever seen that guy?
So I say I'm gonna put it keep out again on all the cases, nothing like bro, man. I want to tell him, man, even like shit. I just see on him, you know. He live like shit. You see what I'm saying? What they do? You see what he did?
Okay.
I think that's Kevin. I don't think lie. His name is Kevin though.
Well, that's what he had to ride the scooter.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we've been living with. Manipulating him. Because, you know, they not right in the head, you know.
Who's not right?
Kevin not right in the head.
What's Kevin's last name?
I don't know Kevin. I just know the name Kevin. It depends his name.
Yeah.
He might be telling me the name Kevin. He might be telling me I leave the name Kevin.
Right.
Here's Antoine.
What kind of pistol did you have?
I got 3
You
I got it from the pawn shop.
know what's happening with
I Cobra from Utah.
what color?
Red and black. It's really red and pink, but I sprayed the red. I sprayed it black. The original colors are red and pink though. It sounds like everything. I ain't got nothing to hide from.
You know your part when I got there.
Yeah, they said everything. Look. Cause when I'm on the phone, they already right there.
Right.
And I like the one was like, I just said my wrong. I just like asked the officer, I don't know my phone is.
Did you love him?
Yeah, hey, I got no problem with nothing. I don't got nothing to hide.
You know, would you say were there?
At the time,
Baby.
cause it's white. The girl next door.
So the girl next door, the girl that lives in the apartment next door to Kevin, she was outside with this him.
I think she probably was looking out her window or something like that. I'm about to hear people.
Okay, she wasn't calm. She wasn't.
Nah, she back in conflict. So they try to watch it.
Okay.
We got all that rubbish for it about, you know, because it's outside her apartment. He's trying to see what's going on.
That one you and G played was
You know, you got on where it's holding from chicken, like. I don't know.
so the girl Joe arguing about. You know her name?
Her name Jay. It's something I don't know her name. You Jay. She don't got her still little kids.
You got a lot.
You know it's so weird, bro. Then you know, I don't know that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Bro, it's not her, bro. You do like you been trying to say, oh, she's gonna take care of her kids, bro. Her kids in country. Her kids in CPS, bro. Oh, like, come on, bro.
Said you brought that girl on the phone show.
Yes, sir. What's that box shop next to Chick-fil-A? Easy one.
Okay.
I've been having it since I've been having it about 8 months. About a good 8 months, yeah. And then, you know, I ain't gonna lie, I be drinking. I don't know where to start them.
Man.
Like 2 months ago, and I had this fucking look when I'm around.
So, I'm just playing. Yeah. So, look, I'll tell you that, yo, I do it. That's my man. That's a good thing. You know, but I'm the same guy who's on. Okay. All right. So we'll make sure that's the okay. Yeah. That's what that. Whatever situation when they were reporting drug, and that's what that's about. So let's go back to let's go back a little bit to the fight. Yeah. The subject that she was he an older guy? Yeah, he's way older than me. He way more than me. Yeah, you know, he look like he just ain't know type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay. Yeah. You got it in the phone? You ain't come on, man. You know, what you call him? I tell you, in the streets. I got you. I do better call. I do better. One side going for the car. I'll be big. Yeah, you know what I'm for me, bro. All that can you say? I like it. Yeah, you for me, bro. They ain't really. I'm not even expecting it. That's not all the time. Yeah, it's like, bro, I don't even. Come on, man. Leave me out. Right. I ain't gonna. I'm gonna tell you. I'm 5'8". About how much weight? 135. Last time I checked, I was 135. That was 2 days ago. Okay. That's a dumb eight. Okay. You watch your hands or anything after you're right? Yeah. You come on. She called. On the real shit. So how many times, other than the one good punch he got to your face, how many other? You know what I'm saying? Before I was thinking motherfuckers, he was coming with each other, man. I was thinking, yeah, he's but he's not, he ain't calling me, but he can't do yeah. They grown that shit, not that little boy shit. Yeah. I don't see age. I might well, yeah, if this man can't with shit like other shit. And then I got out of door, you know, it's like, right here. No. So you got to fuck with that man, you know, you all that nigga to me, yo, better to me. No, we didn't decide to do that, Johnny. He was from the scene when we were trying to work out there. Can't fuck you, baby. You ain't gonna live out there long. He just long out there. I just moved over. 28 each mean, sir. Well, he been on the 50. No, gee. You just can't. He's born in the age. He's not a little bit. I've been on my shit, so I gotta run 50 days. Man, come on, man. Get 40 hours and we're down there. These guys, all these guys bullshit, sir. These guys, I got it like that. Man, come on, man. You got what I can't look at. I didn't even know what I did. Fuck, man. The devil. It ain't really your fault, do you mean? It's all moving around. Yeah. I'm gonna move around. Damn. And you got any questions for us right now, man? Oh no, what are you telling me? He died? Okay, that's cool, that's cool. No, at the time they didn't know. Yeah. At the time they didn't know. No, he did not. But it's gonna be aggravated assault with deadly weapon. Right. So it is a felony. I mean, oh yeah. It's a felony. It's a felony. Fuck, man. I knew about this shit, man. It's early. But hey, they go on a look, man. Okay, well, you can with the quarter, you can the properties, with the quarter, she takes down, you'll end up getting the ring, you'll get it on, You know, I guess if you decide to make bond and or take it one in, and if you know, if you got any questions for me, you can feel free to call me. Yes. All right. All right. So just see time to mention. Very more else you may get you.
After this, did you have, like I said, somebody come transport him to the jail?
Yes.
Three things. One is, during that time, did you ever hear him say, I feared for my life and I was about to die and I needed to shoot him? Matter of fact, did he say he pushed him off and shot him?
Yes.
Second thing is, did you ever hear him say that the other person had a weapon?
He did not.
And the last thing is, did he ever ask, how is he? Is he okay?
I think at the very end.
At the very end, he asked, you said he didn't die, and he said, good. That's all he said, right? He didn't ask. He wasn't asking when he got there, is he okay? Where did I shoot him? Is he going to make it?
Right.
When he got back at the end, you could tell he's talking about how he's going to be charged. Now, you talked to Curtis, you talked to Ella, is that right?
Yes.
Matter of fact, did you talk to Curtis in the hospital?
I talked to him the next day.
Okay.
I think he was in surgery that night.
So you talked to him, talked to Ella, you talked to a neighbor,
Yes, but
Jacobs, I think, or somebody did.
I think someone did. I did not.
Okay. And you didn't have any other eyewitnesses to this event, did you?
No.
The neighbor just heard something and said she heard shots.
Yes.
But the only ones that came forward was Curtis, Ella, and the defendant. Is that right? Nobody else ran.
Yes, everybody.
Nobody called up and said, hey, I saw the whole thing. This is the way it went down. Okay. I'll pass with him.
Good afternoon, Detective. I don't believe we've met. My name's Reagan Minaldi. It's nice to meet you. Okay, so one of the first things out the gate that you said about my client was that he's very animated. Feel like that's a fair depiction from the body cam, correct?
Yes.
He's in there talking with you and giving you a play-by-play. I'm sorry, I have to have you answer out loud because she's got to make a record, so.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. And then while you were also talking with him, you had actually mentioned that you were glad you didn't call G-Baby down there because he was causing so many issues for y'all on scene, correct?
That's correct.
And then throughout that interview, it was actually discovered that G-Baby is the one that was ringing the doorbell to try to get Curtis outside, right?
I don't know if that's what he was referring to. I don't know if that was ever mentioned.
You don't think that was mentioned in the footage that we just watched?
No.
Okay, so him sitting there saying that people were sitting up against that the windows outside of 213, apartment 213, and G-Baby sitting there saying, don't make me go inside and get cuz. You remember him saying that on the video?
Yes.
Okay, and that was in reference to whoever was inside 213, correct?
I assume so.
Okay,
Yes.
because they were outside of 213.
Right.
And we know that the occupants of 213 that night were Curtis Satterwhite, right?
Yes.
And his wife Ella.
Yes.
Okay. And then we also heard from Mr. Dixon that once Curtis did come outside, he was coming with some thunder. Is that right?
So I guess he made that reference whenever when he was talking about them getting in the physical altercation.
Sure. That was the rendition that he provided you.
Yes.
That Curtis was coming at him with some heat.
Yes.
And that he was on some grown man stuff and not little boy stuff.
Yes.
Okay. And you know from talking with Curtis that he really is on grown man stuff because he's been to the pen several times, correct?
Yes.
And he told you that he knows how to fight.
Yes.
And he's not afraid of a fight.
Yes.
And he also told you that he had gotten in 4 other fights at that same apartment complex before this instance happened, correct?
I don't know. I don't recall.
Okay. If he agreed that that is true, you have no reason to dispute that he. Okay. In terms of my client, Mr. Dixon, he called 911. Sorry, I need a verbal answer.
Yes.
He waited for officers to arrive at his apartment.
Yes.
We have seen on several body cams that he was cooperative with the instructions that they were giving to him.
Yes.
So he cooperated fully with their investigation while they were still on scene outside of his apartment 208.
Yes.
And then he was transported from the apartment complex and brought to Belmont Police Department,
That's right.
where he voluntarily provided an interview to you and Detective Hancock.
That's right.
You fully Mirandized him and he understood everything.
Yes.
And he offered to talk to you anyways.
Yes.
Because he wanted to tell you the story.
That's right.
He wanted to make sure that you knew what went down and that he wanted to make sure he was helpful in that investigation.
Yes.
Now, in terms of your experience with VPD, did you say that you've been with them for 8 years? I missed that.
14.
14, I'm sorry. Even better, 14 years. And you've been a detective for 3.
4.
4.
4 years.
I'm just wrong on so many levels. 14 years, 4 years as a detective. Throughout your experience with Belmont Police Department and any prior law enforcement experience that you might have from that, would it be fair to say that you have a lot of stories to tell about what you've seen just in Belmont? And I'm sure that there have been instances in your life where you have felt threatened while you're on the job.
Yes.
And the main goal for you is to make sure that you get home after that shift. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
So if there is ever a risk to your safety, you would do whatever you needed to do to ensure that you got home safely.
Yes, sir.
And if you perceived a threat that you thought it was reasonable for you to react using your firearm, you would use it.
Yes, sir.
Pass the witness, Judge.
Did you hear anything come out of the defendant's mouth that justified him shooting Curtis Satterwhite?
No, sir.
Even with all your experience and all the things and all the threats you've had over the years as a police officer, did you hear anything that was reasonably even likely to cause him to be able to shoot him and be justified? No, sir. I'll pass it.
Anything else?
Nothing further, Judge.
Are you just man excused?
Yes, please, Judge.
You are excused, sir. Thank you. Next witness.
State of Texas would rest, Your Honor.
Gentlemen, we're going to break for the evening, and the state has rested its case, and the defense has an opportunity to put on evidence. Thank you. We are in recess for the evening.
And thank you. We are in recess for a few hours here until we get to day 2. Day 2. Coming up in just a few hours from now, about 5.5-ish. Got a little bit of an intermission coming up. The state has rested its case. We have heard from the first responders being there. We've seen their body cam footage. We've heard from the wife. We've heard from the victim himself. Heck, we've heard from the detective who interviewed the defendant, and we've seen kind of, sort of, and heard in the defendant's own animated, jumbled way, what he was feeling and how he was feeling the night of the actual incident, with that very jarbled, Boomhauer-esque sounding interrogation tape. I wish I could have done something better with that, but you can only do so much, right? I got news for you, ladies and gentlemen, where this one was long and drawn out and thick in some legal argumentation. The next half is the end of the road, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna get the defense's case. We're gonna hear from the defendant himself. We're going to get rulings and judgments and all that kind of good stuff. It's all rolled up into the final, the conclusion, hour and a half, part 2. If you're watching this way after the fact, there'll be a link to the next video somewhere on screen. But for now, I'm going to say thank you to all these wonderful people who are here in chat with me today, and most especially, say a big thank you to Vegas Starlight for bacon. And then also pointing out that Judge Stevens seemed to be frozen in time quite a lot, actually, during that hearing. I agree, Vega. I agree. Miss Natasha Kitty coming through with a super chat. Woo, 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 woo. And a lot of people with all the bits and bops and the fun little thingies that I don't even know what to call, the jewels, the crowns, I don't know. What do you call those things? I don't even know what they call them on other platforms, much less what they call them here. All right. Thank you all for being part of the stream. I am your Lone Wolf Usul. I'm the guy who puts these crazy cases together. There's more of them out there. There's more of these long ones. And just to kind of give you a preview of tomorrow, we got a long preliminary examination with Judge Simmons starting at the same Wolf time, same Wolf channel. And tonight for this one, if you're watching this live, tonight, same Wolf time, same Wolf channel. That is 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. Same time we're live every night of the week. We're going to be live again tonight, live again tomorrow with special cases, special long form cases, single cases for your consumption, for your review. But for now, I am your Lone Wolf Usul. I'm done with this one. I'll see you with the next one. For now, I am out. And remember, only you can take a bite out of crime. Bye!